everyone! Old School Pokemon here, back again with the Pokeflipz podcast, joined by my usual co-host, KetchumAllCollectibles, Dan. Dan, you failed. There was a comment last week saying you can't smile during the intro. I forget who left that.
I'm not good at looking at the comments, admittedly, but we're coming to you for the first time ever. We are in 1080p landscape mode on your horizontal mobile devices, maybe on your television. A little bit scary, especially if we go to this view. A little bit scary to think we're on like a 60, 70-inch flat screen TV. But we are also vertical. So let us know in the chat. Are you watching, and the vertical one, are you watching vertical or horizontal? I think vertical, this one works better because Nick and I aren't cropped down so tiny. But then if you're landscape mode, it's better in this orientation. So like, let me know, what is this abomination orientation? Imagine being full-time Pokemon but can't commit to being on time to a date you set weeks ago. Shaking my head. But yeah, there is a lot. The
comments show up top on the vertical view.
Yeah, there's a lot to address today, and we will address it all. Aside from the big hobby drama news going on, it was going to be a pretty full episode anyways. Then StreamYard throws this dual orientation at us. I'm actually going to be interested to see. I want to pull up my YouTube and see how many viewers we have like on each orientation. I've never done a vertical live stream until this one.
It's going to be depressing to see that we have 10 viewers.
So I see 14 watching vertical and 14 watching horizontal, which we'll see how that ebbs and flows throughout the live stream. But we had it in our title, we had it in our thumbnail. Snype, Rick Probstein, he left eBay, and I think this is gonna be a YouTube first, a YouTube exclusive. I have updates. I had a source that did not want to share the information because he had an email directly from Rick. If anyone's ever emailed with Rick, you know that his style of lack of punctuation, his style of just the way that he talks, you can tell it's him. And it's funny to think that you're messaging with Rick Probstein himself. But in the message, he said, keep this private. Well, the person that I was talking with on Instagram, not surprisingly, did not want to be listed as a source, but it's being talked about on Reddit. So somebody that was asked to keep it private took it to the privacy of the Pokemon investing subreddit. So I posted it on E4. Maybe I'll drop a quick link to E4. Shout out to that. I haven't been super active on there in years, but I do still find my way back there from time to time. I'll drop a link. Yeah, I dropped a link if you want to see the actual screenshot. I guess I could share it on here, but being mobile, being
spamming links over there.
Oh, I posted it. I posted it twice because I posted it on each.
Oh, I didn't even know. Okay.
I think we're seeing merged chats. I think if someone chats in the vertical or the horizontal, I think we see it. So Nick and I see my thing twice, even though I posted it once. But it says, looks like Snype Probstein has a deal pending with eBay. Has anyone else heard news? So I have someone in my Instagram DMs. I'm not going to share it because it's not my information to share. They were asked to keep it private. But like someone that I know, someone that I trust, someone in the space that is like, they have a legitimate email from Rick that says like, hey, I have a deal pending with eBay. Don't tell anyone about it. Naturally, we're telling YouTube. People are telling the investing subreddit. But that opens up a big can of worms. I think a big can of worms has been opened up. And let me set the stage a little bit for anyone who doesn't know what happened, because I probably should do that, right? We know what I'm talking about.
What happens? Start from the very beginning.
So Rick Probstein, multi-decade seller. I've sang his praises for a long time on YouTube about selling his service, 95% payout above $1,000 sales on eBay. And I've sold with him all year long. I've sold many six figures. Not quite $500,000, but not too far off, I don't believe. So it's been a good setup so far. Well, early October, he did his last auction block on eBay, and he was building his own website called Snype, SNYPE. And that launched like a week ago. And the first auctions were supposed to be ending a few days ago. And weird things started happening. Just the site was going down, site was coming back up, site was going down. Bids weren't really going through properly. Anyways, an E4 thread gets created. Think of all the drama that gets blown out, like discovered originally on E4. There's a lot of it. I think the Logan Paul fake case was theorized on E4. I know the shout out to PFM, Pokemon Flying Master, with the CGC prototype that were printed in 2024. But anyways, a user posted suspicious activity that he was seeing on Snype. A small amount of accounts accounting for a large portion of bids, and a lot of them being tied to unsavory characters in the space. And yeah, the E4 thread is linked. I'm actually going to pin it. I'm going to pin if I can. No, I don't see a way to pin it. Nick, I don't know if you can pin it because you're logged into the Pokeflipz YouTube, right? Somewhere?
No, I'm just on my YouTube.
Okay. Well, anyways, scroll up their E4 links. And in that first post, data breach, apparently people's personal information was leaked as a part of all this. But you could see bid history. You could see user registration data. And a lot of the registration is tied to people that it should not be tied to. And it should be tied to people who've had issues in the space before. I know Rattle made a video today. I was talking with him a little bit about it yesterday and today. I actually talked with Scott a little bit, SM Pratt himself, the owner of the Elite Forum. He said that this post was made actually several hours before it was posted publicly. It was held for review, moderator review, whatever. And like they I don't know what they did to do it, but like they verified the legitimacy of the claim. They verified, like, to some extent, the legitimacy of the claims being made in the original post. As PFM lays out, it is not his post. He is not like fully endorsing it or anything, but to some extent, like it was audited to some extent and it was allowed to go through. So it's, yeah, a very concerning thing. If and when all these allegations, if and when all these theoretical things prove to be true, it looks as if there was some amount of, we had some people memeing in the chat earlier. We had some amount of defensive bidding or shill bidding. And note, as I say all this, I am reporting to you information from the open public domain, E4, Reddit. These are not my thoughts or opinions or any of that stuff. Like this is just me conveying information from the public space. I don't know what's going on. I made my own video about Snype Monday, and I just kind of was like, hey, this guy's a big player in the space. He sells a lot of stuff. I'm going to try it out. And probably some people tried it out solely because of me making a video. So I feel responsible to like follow up on if and when any developments come on the site, positive or negative. And if and when, this is crazy. But one of the biggest things, and I just posted it on E4 before we went live, like if and when any of these things are true, would eBay have him back? Because what was said in Reddit, what was said in the DMs that came like an email from Rick himself to this guy that I've dealt with before in the Pokemon space, he basically said like, hey, Snype is a huge mess, so we're just going to go back to eBay. Would eBay have him back after these potential leaking of customer data, potentially bidding on one's own items on their own platform? Like there's a lot, many cans of worms it feels like were opened. And so what do you do with that if you're Probstein? What do you do with that if you're eBay? What do you do with that if you're consigning? So me personally, Nick, let me let you go, because is there any details that I missed in laying out everything that's gone on so far? Is there anything else you want to add that I missed?
No, you covered everything pretty much so far.
Okay. So yeah, I like what now? Where I come from is like, whether or not it's positive or negative or like whatever it is, it happened. We are where we are today. What am I doing with this information? He's getting buried in messages, I'm sure. It is unreasonable / impractical to assume that I'll be able to just smoothly, cleanly withdraw my stuff all in one go, right? I have probably $30,000 to $50,000 worth of stuff with him. Step one, I'm sending personally, and this is me. This is what I'm doing. This is not advocating for anyone to do anything. Do what you're going to do. But like, this is what I'm doing and why, as I always do on my channel and Pokeflipz. So like I'm not sending anything new. That feels fairly obvious. People can do whatever they want to do, but like I am sending nothing new. And if and when he offers an option to have my stuff sold on eBay, I will take it. And I am not, at least for the short to intermediate term, I'm sending nothing new to Rick Probstein, whether on eBay, whether on Snype, because the allegations that were laid out, and they've always been there. The way that I called it out, basically, the way that I see it, and I said this in my video Monday, there's always been allegations of Probstein shilling auctions. And like my potentially incorrect opinion was always was like the risk would be too high for too little reward. He's too rich. Like it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense whatsoever. So like it's probably not happening. But think back to Blake's breaks. Think back to like all the different things that we've had happen of rich people scamming, lying, cheating, stealing. I don't know. It's crazy, but it could be happening. I'm not saying it is happening. If and when some of those things pan out in the OP and E4, I mean, it could be happening, which is just obscene. And maybe it was happening on Snype. Maybe it was intended to be happening on Snype. Maybe it never happened on eBay. eBay is a much larger platform. Maybe he thought that he needed some people on the defense. But like, I'm not justifying what he potentially allegedly did. It is very, very bad and illegal. And like, honestly, if the OP as laid out on E4, if any of that is valid, this is like FBI investigation type level stuff, I would think. The data leak combined with like the market manipulation, like this is high level stuff. If and when any of that stuff holds water, it's it's actually crazy. But like as I'm saying this, I've been like pretty deep in this, talking about it, looking into it over the past 48 hours or so. And think back to like Nick. Remember when we reported on 3-4 months ago the $350 million memorabilia scandal? Remember in January when we talked about the $30 million prototype scandal?
Oh, yeah.
But
No, that's
scandal,
the biggest thing for me is it's news now, but it's gonna quickly move to something else. And I would love to see something come of this, but is anything actually gonna come of it? I don't know.
Yeah, I actually have the E4 thread open right now. Like somebody says, it's to eBay's benefit to have him back given his sales volume. That said, I can't imagine he has any leverage to get a better rate after the Snype failure.
That's the thing I didn't think of, and I saw Greeny's comment. He obviously had a really, really good contract with eBay beforehand. Then he leaves eBay. Now he wants to come back to eBay. First off, are they going to let him come back? I kind of say yes. I would imagine, just because of how big of a seller he was on eBay. But will they give him those same type of rates? Who knows? I would lean towards no, just because now they know he's building his own site. He wants to get that going. So this kind of eBay, like move back to eBay, I think they're assuming is going to be temporary. So why give him really good rates again?
And honestly, like it's sad because like I said this in E4. Maybe I should just read my post. There's a lot of maybe we won't go through the whole E4 thread. Like it's there if someone wants to read it, but. I'm generally
read through the whole post.
do you want? I mean, I could share it and we could go through the whole thing if you wanted to. I don't know.
I'm gonna do that this afternoon anyway. I saw it when it was like a half hour old, but then I didn't get a chance to look at it. But we don't have to. We don't have to bore people with everything.
Yeah, there's like 70 posts. It'll be a lot, but anyways, it's like eBay. If and when Probstein had a history of shilling in on eBay and PWCC and all these things, it's like eBay, said by Scott Pratt on E4, like eBay is the best and the biggest platform overall as far as Pokemon market volume, all that stuff. You can auction something, especially in today's market, pretty solid chance that you're going to get like market price. Pretty solid chance you're going to have a good show on your auction. But eBay, I've made videos going back years. I made videos 3-4 years ago talking about PWCC, talking about Probstein, or not Probstein, talking about eBay, talking about Golden, talking about Heritage. Their lack of caring about like sales history, and eBay is the worst with this. eBay is the worst as far as letting fake items clutter up their search, all those Chinese fake cards. Now we have Chinese real cards, which makes it a little bit more difficult. But not deleting sales when they're not paid. eBay knows what's paid and what's not paid, and the fact that they don't delete it. But like, if and when, I mean, these allegations exist, we are deep down the rabbit hole. So like, I promise your average eBay user does not know what just happened. Your average Instagrammer, your average YouTube, like most people are not going to know what's going on with Snype right now. Most people don't even know that Snype existed as short of a time as it did. But like, eBay will know, should know. People involved with eBay will know. And if they take him back with all this up in the air, that to me is pretty crazy. But I'm going to say this too, at the risk of like making everyone mad. Not everyone, but like many companies just have so many skeletons in their closet. It's kind of scary and it's kind of sad. I said in my E4 post, but like, I'm pretty cynical in general. I try to not be, because I think generally, I think I'm cynical to like too far of a degree that it's actually like negative on me and my life, negative on people around me potentially. I try to like consciously think better of people than I like first got like initial reaction than I generally do. But like in Monday's video, I said that I don't think that this guy's shilling. If you would ask me about Blake Sprague's before the news came out, before the energy games were being rigged, I probably would have said like, oh, a guy like that, a multimillionaire from the NFL in the Pokemon space, making all like he wouldn't rig energy games to make more money when he's making enough, right? Like I've been too quick to make statements like that, and it might age like milk. My video on Monday might age like milk, where I said that I'm pretty confident that Probstein wasn't bidding on his own items because of X, Y, and Z, because of the risk reward, all that stuff. But like seeing PSA decline a financial guarantee on $1,000 Pokemon card that they upheld as a PSA 10 head grader, like the amount of times that people and businesses and things in this space, let alone in the broader like world in real life, it is sad. It is disappointing. It is sad. People suck is how I ended it in my E4 post. Like, people just suck. So I need to like, I'm at I have an internal battle going on that my initial reaction is to assume the worst in everyone because I'm a cynic. I fight against that and I like stick my neck out and I say like, Probstein, no, I don't think Probstein's shilling. And then maybe I stick my neck out to get my head chopped off. And if this all ends up being true, it's going to make me a lot more cynical moving ahead, probably. But yeah, I don't know.
All I'm gonna say is I don't. You might have something to do with this, Mister. You start selling on eBay Vault, that dies. You start selling on Evo, that dies. You start selling on Snype. Is that going to be the end of Snype? I don't know. There's a common denominator here between all those things.
You just so the Midas touch is where you touch, everything turns to gold. I looked up what like the opposite of the Midas touches. The only thing I found was like the SIDAM, which is just Midas backwards. I have the Sidam touch, if that makes sense. But everything I touch just like dies. It just withers up and dies. And my thumbnail for Monday's video, I'm going to wait for this to develop more before I make the video. I'm going to record it like Monday morning probably. But it's going to be that meme with Death walking down a hallway with his scythe. And like there's a blood trail behind him. Troll and Toad Evo gone. eBay Vault gone, and then me knocking on this door of Snype because I am batting 1,000. If I make a video or multiple videos talking about your platform, I had videos talking about PWCC who didn't die. They got sold to Fanatics, but I need to be careful. I don't want to make any like devoted videos.
Don't you just dare be making an eBay live video.
And you know what I said in Discord the other day? I'm going to start selling So I'm gonna sell an influencer package for Collectibles. $10,000 for me to not make a video about your platform, about your product. $10,000, a one-time fee, and I will never make a video about your product or your platform, because if I do, your platform is doomed. It's just a matter of time. It is not an if, it is a when. So yeah, $10,000. Feel free to reach out. I will not make a video about your product or platform if you pay the fee. So I'm an antiviral, anti-influencer.
Can me, Grimer, and Spat split it so you don't talk about eBay Live?
Oh man, yeah. I just quit my job and eBay Live is gonna die. Wait, Spat. Did you actually? Is a 2 weeks put in, or what? Is this like Nick? I'm in. I don't know if this is an actual announcement or just a pretend announcement. Oh no, MetaZoo door in that hallway too. I'll have to be clear to put MetaZoo 1.0, but 2.0 is not going amazingly. Shout out to Secret Shadows. Shout out to Secret Shadows. It is releasing this weekend in New Jersey. Nick, we will be on Whatnot in 2026.
Have fun.
Whatnot is a big company. I'd be surprised if my inbox wasn't filled by eBay Live and Fanatics Live representatives trying to get me to make a video about Whatnot. Because if Whatnot dies, Fanatics Live and eBay, they're really popping now. I mean, they might bid a lot more than $10,000 for that video.
That is very true. Very true.
I've shook hands with them before. Does that mean I'm next? But yeah, ultimately, to sum it up, like, very serious. It wasn't even necessarily allegations. The allegations were basically, I know. Let me share for a second. Let me at least share post 2, which I should have done at the outset. Probably. I'm gonna present. I'm interested to see how it works on.
Oh God, it's gonna turn into a mess.
Yeah, on the vertical one. What? Oh, okay. It makes us tiny. Let's check out. Oh wait, no, that's not the right one. This one?
Just moved us.
Oh, okay. But anyways, so to be clear, so this is PFM. This is PFM, the famous guy, Pokemon Flying Master, who found the dot codes in the supposed test print, the cards that were all authenticated by CGC that turned out to be printed in 2024. So this is the same guy, but he's the administrator on E4. It is not his original post. The original post is made by Blyat. I don't know what that means exactly, but he did a deep analysis on all the bids and all the different things. So I'm going to scroll quickly if anyone wants to pause. This is all on the E4 thread. But so PFM basically like took all that and summed it up for people that didn't want to read the whole thing. To be clear, I have nothing to do with this post. So these are Scott's words, PFM, and also my words as well. So I have nothing to do with this post. I am not involved in this analysis or investigation at all. But if it's true, I think it has major relevancy to people across many hobbies. I'm echoing everything Scott says here because I'm in the same spot, and I agree with him that like this has major ramifications. Since it's a bit dense, I read through the text, and here's a high-level summary. ChatGPT helped, but he curated it. So core claim. Here's the core claim set out in the outset, the original post. Snype supposedly exposed an internal database endpoint to the open web with no authentication. No password needed, no key needed. You could just see it. According to the post, this allowed access to full bidder and consignor information for any auctions. Name, email, phone number, addresses, birthdays, payment method data, Stripe objects, eBay info, and bid histories. The post did not share how to do the method, but it has been mentioned on another thread in the forum. So that's just another thread on E4. The scale of the exposure. 1,331 auctions were allegedly involved. Total bids placed across them, 29,000 bids, totaling $1.28 million. 96 wins are attributed to the flagged accounts. So less than 10% of items were won, but like that's a big number. And like many, many tens of thousands more were scheduled to end in the coming weeks. And like any amount is Not allowed. Any amount is not good. 1 out of 1,331. I mean, 0 with the bid activity being there would not be acceptable either. Even if they don't win, defensive bidding, shill bidding, whatever you want to call it, that is just flat, outright, illegal, fraudulent, bad. Don't do it. Main allegation beyond the security issue. So like one issue, depending on the state you live in, depending on the country you live in, every like what do I want to call it? Every jurisdiction has its own laws regarding customer data being leaked. And supposedly too, again, allegedly, this is not me saying it, but like allegedly, BGS, did you hear about that? Allegedly, BGS had a big data breach. And
I do remember hearing about that at some point.
Yeah, I've not heard anything on that, but like time frames will be coming up in the coming weeks and months for, depending on the state that you're on, they need to tell you that if a company has a lot of customer data and they leak it to the public, they leak it through some security issue, they need to legally report that. So if and when this actually happened, and if and when we don't hear about it, and I'm in New York, I don't know what every state is, I'm not going to look that up, but like the law will be being broken if this happened, if and when it's not disclosed in the future. So like we will get updates potentially in the future if and when that's self-reported by Snype. But additionally to the security issues, which are bad enough, a cluster of accounts claimed to be linked by email patterns, similar data, shared addresses, or names associated with Probstein show unusually heavy bidding activity. I placed bids on like a few dozen items. I saw some of the alleged names that are tied to addresses related to Probstein or related to unsavory people in the space. But anyways, many accounts are marked super bidder, but required verification fields appear fake or nonsensical. Like for me to become a super bidder, I actually put Nick. I put Old School in as a referral, and yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. But
Just
the
data breach is bad enough. Having all people being able to access all that information.
Yeah, it's crazy. If true, these are us just sharing our thoughts, opinions. We have no clue if any of this is true. I'm not smart enough to be able to verify if any of this is true. I'm not a super tech guy. I would not build my own auction website because I don't know how to. I've done a little bit of vibe coding, as they call it, using ChatGPT, but all of that lives within my own spreadsheets and things. Some of that does live on my website. I made the custom liquid code for my Shopify website to scrape TCG player prices for my buy list. So like the stakes are not very high. I vibe coded a TCG player booster pack price scraper. I did not vibe code a theoretically multi-$100 million auction platform that is going to maintain records of like people's private information and all this stuff. It's crazy. I have no idea how chats work. So Nick and I here within StreamYard, Nick and I can see one unified chat, and we see one unified.
I would imagine it's got to be two different chats.
Yeah, I don't know, but I do see
I can't see it being all one.
So let me here I'll show it here. I'll add this back. So right now, Pokeflipz is live twice. We are aware that we're live twice. We have 45 watching horizontal landscape, and we have 18 watching vertical portrait mode. So we are aware that this is going on. It is intended. It's a new feature. They call it Mars. I forget what it... Mars is the acronym that StreamYard was calling it. But it allows you the ability to be live, vertical, and horizontal for mobile and for desktop use. But in StreamYard, Nick and I see one unified chat. I don't know what people in each one see. I don't know if they see a separate one or not. But yeah, it was an interesting feature. So, hey, I'm a guinea pig for Snype. That went so well that I wanted to be a guinea pig for the feature on StreamYard, right? So,
oh god, it's the end of Pokeflipz.
Yeah,
darn it.
Yeah, we knew, but like again, I'm a guinea pig this week on Snype. That did not go well at all. So you know what? I I jumped right back into it, and we're a guinea pig on StreamYard as well. I think this is very new functionality.
Probably is for StreamYard. I think it's been a thing for YouTube for at least a little while.
See, I did not know that.
The
But
whole dual streaming thing.
I think the upside, the upside for me is that I honestly like it is. I'm not one to do like an overly emotional reaction. Like a lot of people very quickly will be, I'm done with this forever. I'm done with that forever. I don't have enough information today to say that I'm done with Probstein forever. But what I will definitively say is that if I don't get satisfactory replies to certain questions that I have, I am done with Probstein forever. So like a lot, I can almost guarantee that like a large portion of people will just be like, I'm done with him forever. I'm still giving out some small percentage chance that like this is what is Hanlon's razor. Never attribute to malice that which adequately can be explained by stupidity. Basically, I'm hopeful. I'm a cynic, but like me trying to not be cynical, I am hopeful that this is just Rick Probstein being very bad at creating a website, being very ignorant and dumb, not being malicious. It might be him being malicious, though. I truly don't know. If I find out that it was him being malicious, as far as I'm aware, Seal Chiz Consignments has not had any major data breaches. Nor has DC Sports. So I have boxes out with DC Sports and with the Green Chiz. And if and when Fanatics were to ever open up sealed consignments, I'd send a lot there. But yeah, and it's fine. Like there are certain people that have already deemed like I'm done with him forever. That's a personal decision to make, and like that's a very reasonable one. I think the allegations are extremely strong, but in my opinion, at least the way that I see this, like the way that I see this it is still an allegation. I still like I think innocent until proven guilty is a pretty big thing, but like going further, I've seen enough that like I'm not gonna. Basically, I'm on the fence is what I'm saying. As I usually am, I'm on the fence.
Oh, surprise, surprise.
I'm not. If I deemed him guilty until proven innocent, I would be done with him forever. If I deemed with him innocent until proven guilty, I would still maybe send him stuff. I'm not sending him new stuff. I'm not going to necessarily try to fight to get my old stuff back because so many people are doing it. It's probably not going to happen. But until I get swayed off the fence, which people should know how hard it is to get me off the fence, I'm not sending him anything new ever. So like the most likely outcome, in my opinion, today is that I probably won't consign with him again. But certain things could be said. If it was just him being dumb and a moron and like, oops, guys, I'm gonna give everyone a bunch of money because I lost your data, whatever. If he admits to it all, fesses up, says that he's a dumbass for having vibe coded an entire website. And there needs to be a reasonable excuse for everything that was laid out in that E4 post. For all I know, that E4 post is somebody who doesn't like Probstein and just made up some whole thing. Like, I didn't audit that. I don't know if that stuff's true. But anyways, that's me ranting and rambling about a lot of stuff. Anything else to add, Nick, or no?
I just think it's like what you said earlier, where we're so far down the rabbit hole that we hear about this stuff. The average, I don't know if the average person sending stuff to Probstein is even gonna know about this. So I think it'll be. I would like to see something come of it, and for them to be held accountable if what's being said is actually true. But I just can't see anything coming of it. I think it'll be talked about in our little deep down the rabbit hole circle. But your average person is just going to have no idea what happened, and he'll still continue to get massive amounts of consignments. I forget who said it, but someone said it's tens of thousands of accusations after the last 20 years. So yeah, he has been accused of shill bidding and doing this type of stuff for however long he's been around, and people still send him tons of consignments. I don't think this is going to be any different.
Most of the shill bidding is, and this happens. James Z&G, shout out to him. He caught someone shill bidding on their own items consigned through him. He banned them, he removed them. But like mathematically speaking, I guarantee that there has been at least one shill bid on one of James' items that he didn't catch. I guarantee there's been one on one of my auctions that I didn't catch. Mathematically speaking, it's just gonna be a thing. Law of large numbers, blah, 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 all that stuff. So like there's a very big difference between moron consigners shilling their own stuff. Like, don't consign with me. Don't do that. Like the people consign because it's easier to do that than bidding on their own thing. But stop it. Don't do that. Defensive bidding, any of that stuff, like not allowed on me or my platforms. I know James, I will speak for James on this. Like none of that is a go. None of that is allowed. Obviously by law, by platform terms and conditions, by our rules. But people still do it. People suck. I'm a cynic. People suck. People will lie. People will cheat. People will steal, even when there's so much money to be made. But like one thing I'll push back on a little bit, and it's sad. It's kind of sickening. I sicken myself to an extent. We talked about it before multiple times, and people just don't care. The whole E4 again was the home of this, but like, Professor Oak Cali, years ago, Professor Oak Cali had a, and I know people don't like, oh, well, you bring this up because you hate this. Like, I hate all these companies, not equally. I hate them all. I can't tell which one I hate more. Depends on the day. Depends on what's going on. But he had a Shadowless Nidoking, and the card was clearly a PSA 7, PSA 8 at best. He rose it up the ladder at PSA. PSA has a financial guarantee of grade and authenticity, blah, blah, blah. And they spat in his face. And they said, like, our head grader reviewed this and we verified it's a 10 and F you. Go away. We're not giving you money. Like, that is not to the same scale, but that is very, very bad. Is that not? So for people to, like, selectively, I'm going to write off this because of this, but I'm also going to turn a blind eye to this because these people make me enough money. It's infuriating, actually. It's actually infuriating how wishy-washy people will be and how people will have a line set here for this. And yeah, anyways, any thoughts on that long rant?
Well, at the same time, what can you do about it? You can stop sending stuff to PSA. Who does that affect? Nobody but yourself. So you just kind of got to deal with it and understand that, yes, no, PSA isn't perfect. But if you do anything else, it's not gonna affect anyone but your PSA isn't gonna care. That's the problem with these huge companies is they at the end of the day they just don't care. And I think the same thing. I think the same thing is going to be true with Probstein, where he's so big that he's just I can see him just not responding to this stuff, and it just kind of going away eventually.
And I'll say that, like, if he doesn't respond to this at all,
go ahead.
If he doesn't respond to it at all, and he never admit, like, from what again, allegations, blah, 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 I don't know for sure. But, like, if I never get noticed that my data was leaked, and I find out and verify that it actually was leaked, I'm probably going to follow up with, like, the guy who posted on E4 and probably try to follow up with some people. If I can verify that my data was leaked and he never follows up with me as the law requires and tells me that my data was leaked, I'm not going to send him any more stuff. Part of that is, like, admittedly, like this is me admittedly picking apart my own semi-hypocrisy, whatever. If it cost me enough money, I would probably still consign with him. But I know that I can go to DC Sports. I know that I can go to Sealed Shirts Consignments. I know that there may or may not be other platforms that used to take sealed consignments, potentially adding sealed consignments in the future. So, like, I know that me boycotting Probstein wouldn't cost much. I can figure out the value of it. And I can say, like, because as much as it's sad to say, it's sad that I know this is the truth for me. I grade with PSA. PSA spat in the face of my buddy, Professor Oak Cali. And it's like, sorry, Mike, but they're making me money. So I'm not going to stand on any moral high ground because they make me too much damn money. And it's like, Nick, if XYZ company, like, personally just did something to scam you for $100,000, and you were like the only one affected, and I had a pretty reasonable suspicion that like they wouldn't do it to me, and they were making me $1 million a year, I'd probably buy you a beer and say sorry about your luck, and I'd probably continue. Like, I'm just honest. A lot of people will lie, and they'll holier than thou, and they'll say this, that, and the other thing. It's disgusting, actually. It's actually, I'm disgusted with myself. I'm disgusted with the hobby. I'm disgusted with humanity in times like this. Yeah.
But it's the truth. It's the truth. And I'm sure if the data breach portion is true and people did access all of your personal information, yes, you'll get a generic email like you do from every other company when this happens, saying, "Hey, we had a data breach. Your information might have been compromised." But I don't think we'll ever hear anything about the shill bidding aspect of it. That's the part he doesn't have to talk about, and I don't think he will talk about it. Remember, did you follow any like the Mr. Beast stuff when people were accusing him, like an ex-employee accused him of all kinds of stuff? He just didn't talk about it, and it just went away. It's going to be the same thing.
Probably. Yeah. It is what it is, I guess. And honestly, too, I've talked about this before, but there are certain auction platforms that there are certain places where you can actually bid on your own item as long as you pay. As long as you pay the buyer's premium, whatever. As long as they get their cut, like, you just buy it back, and that's what it is. Almost like the auction company takes ownership of the item, and then you're buying it back from them after you. I don't know. I don't know how it works exactly, but like theoretically, this probably doesn't exist. But like theoretically, if Snype had some terms and conditions, when I signed up, I don't even remember. You know the terms and conditions that you always scroll through.
Nobody ever reads that.
No, I know, but you always click agree and accept and blah blah blah. I don't remember any of those anywhere. But like theoretically, if he had terms and conditions that like, hey guys, I'm going to have 17 accounts and I'm going to bid on all these items to prop up a floor, and I'll pay. I'll take ownership of the items. Is it legal? Probably, maybe. I honestly don't even know. If and when that was all disclosed, if and when that was all allowed, because I know some auction companies do allow that. It doesn't make it good, but it makes it significantly better, I think. If and when all that was disclosed.
They're allowing it, or they're just not caring? Like, do they say you can bid on your own items?
Oh yeah.
Or is it just people bidding on their own items and then them not noticing?
No, there are definitely auction houses where like you put something to auction in lieu of placing a reserve. So say you have something you can sign and you want to play, like a lot of places do a reserve, they charge you the full buyer's premium. So it's like instead of that, they just like you're allowed to just bid, win the item, pay the total amount. The idea behind that, and again, these are not my ideas. These are the ideas of the auction companies that allow that. The idea behind that is like, well, somebody was the underbidder, somebody was willing to pay, and you paid one increment above them. So it's like it's a real price in that you paid one increment above the second highest bidder. The auction house got their cut, so it's like they're fine, they're happy. Maybe the way Rick was justifying this was like, hey, I have the money, all the consigners are going to get paid. I'm not chilling because I'm just defensive bidding. Rick was maybe just literally going to personally buy all those items, which honestly, if you came out, and this is a conversation, two things. It's a conversation I've had in a couple places privately with people, and it's also a thought that I've had privately in my own head. If he created a platform and said like, hey guys, I'm a rich dude It's building his own website, and I just want to like build my own website. If he said, I am personally buying everything, I am bidding 70% of market on every single item that ends in 2025 for 2 months, I am bidding on every single item personally, and I'm gonna set a floor for 70%, which technically you need 2 bidders to get it there. But I think there's a way that he could have done what he was potentially doing in an actual transparent, legal, fine way. And the way would have been like, guys, I'm literally just going to buy all your stuff. If nobody else does, I will buy it all. And he should have done a slow rollout. He should have only allowed 1,000 items. He should have only allowed $1 million worth of stuff. And been like, hey, guys, here's my $100,000 whiskey that I'm going to drink when this platform launches. That was his most recent reel that he posted. But he should have said, hey, guys, to celebrate my website, here's my $100,000 whiskey that I'm going to chug. Here's my $25 million liquid bank account. I'm literally just going to buy your stuff myself if it doesn't go for 70, 80%. Like that would have been one wild way to come out with an auction platform. Maybe that would have ran afoul. Like he should have had legal teams. He should have had people like verifying, vetting all this. Like, and I don't think he did. But anyways, I don't know.
And then
Kiki-jiki.
On the evidence on E4 specifically point to Rick shill bidding, or is that consigners shilling in the public bids are made it identifiable? So on E4, the shill bidding portion, there's a bunch of Probstein emails. So it's like people at Probstein. So within the company, I think there's even one that's Rick. I don't. I had to look.
Well, devil's advocate too, a little bit.
But it's Probstein email addresses. So people who work at Probstein.
One devil's advocate thing that I'll say, and maybe this doesn't apply to the email portion if you need to actually verify the emails. But again, I don't remember accepting terms and conditions or anything like that. On certain websites, I have filled out certain websites and I've put a different name. I've put a different birthday. I am John Doe on some websites that I don't want to give my personal information to. I'm John Smith on some. Could some of these have been people signing up with just random names? Like, I'm not trying to defend, but like I'm defending logic and reason in the fact that like it's the internet. People could sign up with whatever name they wanted, to be fair. Email addresses, if the email addresses were actually authenticated, that's a different ballgame, and I'm not entirely sure of that. But a lot of these, I'm just not sure. A lot of these don't even see like valid email addresses, like the whole @dr.com. I thought the post said something about the
@dr.com. There's a follow-up there. PFM posted something about it. It can be, you can do something like that. I forget what it said.
Yeah, I forget what the DR thing meant, but like, again, I don't know. A lot of people take, and the guy very well may be guilty of all this stuff. If the allegations, if the information in the original post is true, this would be like FBI type level stuff. Given the dollars, given all the stuff, given the data, like this could be a lot of stuff.
You say that, but it's not. It's nowhere close to the beta test prints. That was way more value, and there was no FBI or anything like that.
This just wasn't allowed to end. I mean, there was, I think there was 30,000 items or something. I guess I don't know how many millions of dollars it was, but anyways, a wise balding man once said, "Who cares?" I feel like that's where we're gonna be in a few months. Like, it's gonna be who cares.
That's exactly what's gonna be. It's gonna Probstein's gonna go back on eBay, fix his website, start back up, and he'll be just fine.
So let's make some predictions now. So all this stuff, we have no clue what's gonna happen. 6 months. Is Snype.com a thing?
I'm gonna give it a year. I'm gonna say they go back to eBay for a year and relaunch Snype at the National next year. That's what I'm gonna say.
I'm going to say they go back to eBay. Rick crosses $1 billion in sales on eBay, and he retires in the next couple of years, and Snype never comes back. That's my guess.
I don't think so.
It seemed so fundamental. Talking to a couple people, reading the E4 thread, like it seemed so fundamentally broken that like it seemed beyond repair. I know personally, if Snype 2.0 happens, like I was happy to be a guinea pig. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. I will not be fooled twice over Snype. If and when, and it's funny because like I gave some people pushback a little bit in Discord. I was like, I never told people, oh, just send it. Like, who cares? I said, I'm sending for this reason and why. But I said, I think people are being overly cautious. I said, I think the prices will go fine. I did not have any insider information of what was going on, or I would not have sold whatsoever. But I sent a decent amount, and I allowed my eBay stuff to roll over there. But no, this is crazy. This is it feels more real. Maybe in this chat, disproportionately, people are probably more directly affected. I wasn't touched by the fake memorabilia $350 million scam. I wasn't touched by the Alpha, Beta, Delta, Gamma, Foxtrot scam back in January either. I didn't buy any of them. I never consigned any of them. But like this one, I sold hundreds of thousands of dollars of stuff with Probstein on eBay. I have $50,000 worth of stuff at Snype right now. So like I'm pretty affected by this. Fanatics did not fumble like this. Fanatics still has had a couple blocks. I think one block this year, they had to push it to a Monday because Sunday night, I don't know if it was Cloudflare or whatever. And apparently Rick is blaming this on Cloudflare. But again, I'm not a tech guy. Supposedly, he's blaming it on Cloudflare. But like some people have said that he's using AWS or something else. And somebody said, oh, no, if you're using AWS, you could use AWS for this and Cloudflare for that. Like, I don't know what any of that means. But, yeah, I don't know. It's all crazy. Crazy.
It is. No, it'll be interesting to see what actually happens. I do think he won't have any trouble getting back on eBay. What his rates will be, that's the question.
Isn't he just trying to change the narrative to say they were overloaded when that isn't even the allegation? Yeah, I mean, maybe, probably the smart thing to do with how quickly people forget. The smart thing to do is probably just not address it whatsoever. Nick mentioned the Mr. Beast thing, which I wasn't aware of, but like that's probably the play. Let the next big thing happen, and then let the next big thing after that happen. Get everyone's stuff sold on eBay. I truly think, Snype is dead. Maybe this ages as poorly as my video Monday did, but like, I'd be surprised if Snype ever came back. We'll see.
You think they're just gonna just scrap it after all the time and effort they put into building it?
It seems like it wasn't much time and effort, Nick.
That is true. No, I would imagine they had to have spent a good bit. It obviously wasn't enough, but I would imagine there was a good bit of money spent trying to build that.
I've seen this reposted a couple times. I told my wife to hit the road when my portfolio hit 1 million. Now my portfolio is down 70% and she won't take me back. Help. Should I list on Snype?
Yes.
Inept card collector is going to ask their Pentagon counterpart if he can ask his golfing Fed buddy if this is even interesting or not. Yeah, this is my prediction as well. And honestly, like, I am stepping back regardless. I'm not sending anything new for at least a few months. And like, theoretically, I think the percentage chances are very low, but I think there's a small percentage chance that like he could still say something that like, I'm a moron. I paid morons to build a website and they did it terribly. I apologize for leaking your data. Here's a $100 eBay gift card for buying stuff from me and other people in the future. And like the whole bidding thing, that was me personally. I was literally just gonna buy your stuff because I wanted the auctions to I wanted the consigners to not get wrecked. Like, That's messed up, but it's yeah, I don't know. That it's all just so crazy. It's so crazy and so fresh. So fresh. Not gonna happen. Yeah, probably not gonna happen. The most likely scenario is I never send anything to him again, honestly. And I was making a lot of money sending stuff to him.
Now, what if, because like you're not gonna send stuff to him because you have so many other options. What if it was like a PSA situation where he's really the only option?
If he was the only option and I was making $500,000 a year sending stuff to him, which I was not making that much, like there would be a number. There would be a number of like, this guy's a moron. This guy did bad stuff, but like, and like, that's the way that I see PSA. I see, and not even just PSA, like CGC, they incompetently graded 8 figures worth of cards. You had one job. Your job is authentication. Your job, Certified Guarantee Corporation, or whatever their name stands for. You had one job and you blew it, and you blew it big time. The risk reward was crazy. For a few thousand grading fees, they exposed themselves to 8-figure risk. And I feel like we had I feel like we had things back when the prototypes came out. Like some people were questioning their authenticity. I don't know what I would have said back then, but it's probably public record. It's probably on a Pokeflipz from 2 years ago. I probably said like, they're probably pretty sure they're real, given that they're risking like 7-8 figures worth of stuff. I was not being cynical enough. The one thing I'm finding, the common thing I'm finding in today, I'm not cynical enough. I'm going to be a more cynical person moving ahead, because letting my guard down on that, people are worse than you would expect them to be. People are dumber than you would expect them to be. People are more evil than you would expect them to be. So be cynical out there, folks.
Be cynical. That's today's lesson.
Pretty sure should be CGC's tagline from now on. Oh, that's crazy. This was a wild one. I think we're almost at an hour. Is there any final snipe? I think at an hour we'll like pivot into non-snipe stuff. This was the biggest thing by far, but like I had quite a few things else. Otherwise, I wanted to talk about. If anyone has any final snipe questions, I'm gonna scroll up. I have not been starring questions. We will probably not take every question from the first hour, because I just got so far behind. This is not AI. I'll try to get all the question marks.
Is this AI? Yeah.
Update, we're going back to eBay. Shout out to Seal Chiz Consignments. He never left eBay. He never leaked personal information. That's actually one thing. Like as a consigner, I do manage a little bit of personal information. And one thing I do, so let me pump myself up here a little bit. I know of other people that are not doing like, they're not doing what I use is Google Drive. So I always have to get a Google email address. Some people are like, I don't have a Google email. I make people get me a Google email so that I can share a sheet. The problem with Google Drive, if I share a Google Drive sheet that is your consignment sheet with your payout records and all this stuff, and most of them I don't have addresses and things like that on it, though honestly, if I were to ever die or something and people needed their cards returned to them, having an address on file is like actually a reasonable idea, but some people don't want to, whatever. Anyways, I have it set up so that I'm as secure as Google is. Like it is Google Drive. You have to be logged in to see your file. Some people, like if I shared it to a Yahoo email address, anyone with the URL, anyone with the link could see that. I know that there are other services, other things around that just have a public URL. It's not a public URL. It's a private URL that you could only access if you had the link. But like I've seen some links with some data that I shouldn't be seeing. I guess I'll leave it at that. That it's not really a security breach to the extent of this snipe thing. But like I see some people doing things with people's data that like they shouldn't really be doing. If you consign with me, your data will be shared between us with a Google Drive file that nobody else can access. Only my account when I'm logged in can access, and I use unique passwords on everything, and I use a password manager. So like I am as secure as Google is. If and when Google ever gets hacked and this gets compromised and people can log it, like then we're in a huge mess because everything of mine is stored through Google Password Manager, which is a little bit scary.
Yeah, but I think it's better than the alternative of just having the same password for everything, or writing your passwords in a notebook.
Edison failed so many times at making a light bulb. Incredible to see y'all would have shit on him back then. That's actually hilarious. I love that. Yeah, WD-40. As far as I understand, WD stands for water displacing. They were working on making a water displacing lubricant, and test number 40 was the one that passed. Well, maybe Snype will only take 39 times to get going. I mean, WD-40 is ubiquitous in life today, right? And it took them 40 tries. So, like, give Rick a little credit. Come on, guys.
Give Rick a little credit.
This is I'm sorry, Walrus, that I missed this. You were cooking earlier. I didn't fail at making an auction site. I found 1,000 ways to not make one. Probstein, probably. That is hilarious. I'm sorry that I missed that. Oh God. Oh, so all my credit card charges that went through, they were all reversed. So like I did win over a dozen items. I won over 20 grand worth of auctions on Snype while they were down, and I was charged for them, and then they took them back already. Let's see. No matter what happens, it's a shame that someone asked someone to keep something private only for them to not do so. Not enough pride nowadays in being a man of your word. I mean,
no,
that goes back to the whole.
Yes.
If these allegations are all out there, and the guy at the head of them all, if Probstein emails you like, "Hey, keep this private," and he's potentially not keeping private the data of thousands of people, like, it doesn't feel nearly that bad of a thing to not keep it private. Honestly, posting it on Reddit, DMing it to a couple people.
Yeah, no, I don't think the people leaking those emails. I don't put any fault on them.
In general rule, like, DMs are DMs. I generally don't like when people are like throwing DMs around it, like, and this is not me because I say anything bad in them or anything, but I'm not a big fan of channels that go around showing off DMs left and right, and like, it's just weird. Like, DMs are DMs. Once you start scamming, once you like, that changes everything though. If you start doing crime, yes, expose DMs, all that stuff. But I've seen people, friend groups, stupid things like exposing DMs, like, that's just that is weird. So I generally agree with the sentiment, but not in this application, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that does.
I could cancel Nick 39 times over, but DMs are DMs. I see where people, a couple people messaged that we were double streaming, but that is by design. We are live in vertical or horizontal format, whichever you prefer.
We gotta get Pokeflipz to go viral now that we got some competition for the next couple months.
I think I actually didn't miss. Here's a question that I think is questions. Yeah, there's a lot of memeing, a lot of commentary, but what are your we'll use this to pivot out of Snype. As you're answering it, so you go ahead and I'll make sure we didn't miss any other Snype questions.
So what are your thoughts on the Megazard UPC going for 185 on TCG Player? You had guys like Ann and TCG saying it wouldn't go under 200. What a shock! Someone getting it for like 80, telling you to buy at 250. It's not surprising whatsoever to me. Like you said, we paid. I forget. It was somewhere 75, 80 bucks for them. MSRP is 120. There's enough margin there where you can get them through distro, sell them at MSRP, and still make a killing. So it does not surprise me whatsoever. I don't know. I was talking with someone about this the other day. I don't know about the new Charizard UPCs, because you're getting a decent selection of packs, but I don't think it's the same like really good selection that we got with the old Charizard UPC. Or the original Charizard UPC. And the promos they're good, but they're not as good as the other Charizard UPC. So I think it's the weakest of the UPCs that we've seen. I obviously I like Celebrations the best, then the Charizard, then the 151, and then the prismatic one. Out of those 4 or 5, I think this is the weakest one that we've gotten, and so it's not surprising to me that pricing is coming down. Plus, there was a decent bit of supply that hit the market. I think it was only a matter of time, and the same thing's going to happen with Phantasmal Flames booster boxes. Once we get wave 2 of them, there's going to be more supply that hits the market. People have already opened a decent bit of that set, so 100% box pricing is going to go down on those. And people are going to be all shocked that the pricing's falling on those, the market's crashing, when in reality it's just us getting more supply.
Yeah, I did grab a couple comments that I'll do to like close up the Snype thing, but my thoughts on this are like, I think my thoughts are well known. I think most things that haven't been available, most sets that haven't been available under MSRP will go there, blah, blah, blah. The same thing Dan's always been saying. And I've been continually wrong for a year, as people point out. I have some people that come back every month. Every month they come back to certain comments, like they put it in their calendar. They come back and they say, look at Destined Rivals, look at Destined Rivals, look at Destined Rivals, look at, and things are getting closer. Things are getting closer. Will they get there? Who knows? But like, I like Anon's videos in general. But anytime anyone, I like how he seems to have a good relationship with Distro. He seems to have much deeper insight, much better relationships than I do, much larger account than I have. I like hearing from people that are actually engaging in the business of Pokemon. He is engaging in the business of Pokemon at a high level. So I take with a grain of salt any opinions, but I take like his actual facts, his actual objective, like this number, that number, his data analysis. I like all that. But like anytime he says things like you say, and I remember him hearing them, anytime people give predictions, I just let it slide off. I don't put any weight to any of it because everyone's just guessing. I'm one of the few who will tell you. I get, Dan, you're on the fence all the time because I don't effing know. Nobody does. I'm one of the few who will tell you that nobody knows, and I don't know. But like this stuff is mass produced. Consumer demand is fickle. Bitcoin just dropped 25% or something, 25%. Like, even if Pokemon in its own bubble, if Pokemon continues booming in its own bubble and Bitcoin drops 50% and the stock market drops 50%, I can promise you we're going to feel that in Pokemon. So like some people, oh, Pokemon is too strong. The art, when I hear someone say the art is too good for it to go down, that's when I know I'm listening to either a moron or someone who just doesn't know any better. Maybe they're ignorant, maybe they're not dumb, but like a combination of both, and it's a fine line. This is gonna sound really mean, but
oh God,
we're friends, so he can take it. You know, I talked about it pre-stream, so I think you know what I'm pivoting into. But one question that comes up all the like, honestly, given how smart he sounds, and I've never met him, but I've talked with him privately a little bit, Anon. Given how smart he sounds and how analytical, and like, I get shocked by people sometimes when I hear him say that, like, oh, it's not going to go under 200 because this, that. You're too smart for that, Anon. Why? And I'll message him about. I'll shoot him an email to let him know that I push back on his. Or do I? I don't know if I have him in Discord or not. But anyways, I don't like talking about people behind their backs.
Well, if he was a true friend, he would watch. So it's kind of on him.
Yeah. Anon, hopefully you're in here. But anyways, but I ultimately I don't say anything usually because like this is very much like, oh, Monday morning quarterbacking. It's obvious now. Blah blah blah. Like there's also an alternate reality where Anon was right. There's an alternate reality where it went up. So I know that. So I'm not going to give him too hard of a time. But like occasionally I hear people say, it's like, man, you're better than that, aren't you? And I guess not. Like, some people could say that about me. Dan, you're better than that, aren't you? You trusted Probstein on his own platform. You dummy. You deserve to have your data leaked or whatever. Some people would say that too. But anyways, continuing on. I do got to call out here. I got to call out fellow YouTuber. I gave him some props earlier in the stream. I consigned your sealed stuff to him. But man, Greeny. He did just win $25 off me. The Red Wings beat the Rangers the other night. When I watched his video this morning saying that he bought 9 cases of Phantasmal Flames at like full market price, when we ask ourselves, like, who's buying this stuff? It's Greeny. Greeny, what are you doing, man? People are actually buying this stuff? I'm selling mine. Nick's selling his. Most people are selling theirs. Greeny's buying. Greeny's out here buying Phantasmal Flames at release. Stuff like that blows my mind. Stuff like that, like I know people are buying it, but like to find out it's someone you know so closely. What are your thoughts on that, Nick? Sorry, Greeny, I love you, but like again, destined rivals. People bought at MSR, but not at MSRP. People bought at release at market, and they were right. So like this is the kind of things that happen when people get rewarded for doing dumb stuff. Again, so the outcome was correct for buying Destined Rivals at launch at full market price because the price went up. But the logic or the lack of logic that went into it, it was a dumb decision. And I'll never turn back on that. This market is insane right now. And people are being rewarded for dumb things. So smarter people are doing dumber things. And that's how you know we're a little bit frothy, a little bit bubbly. Because I think Greeny's smarter than that in general. But I went pretty brutal on him. What do you think, Nick?
That's rough. That's rough.
It's how I really feel, though. What do you think? Let me know. Am I just?
I agree. I agree. I hate to say it, Greeny. I'm not going to be as mean as Dan, but I agree with him. I don't know about that. Obviously, like with Destined Rivals, it would have worked. But then like we started getting the waves, so we only have 60% of Phantasmal out right now. So I do think maybe maybe it's a short-term play, and maybe it will go up in the short term a little bit, and you'll be able to do okay on that. But I do think long-term boxes are definitely going to go down in price before they go back up. Yeah, so I don't know if I would have done that, Greeny. I hate to say it. I don't know. Do you know much about Phantasmal? Do you know anything about Pokemon nowadays, or are you just counting your dollars? I don't know what to think on Phantasmal. It's because like it's a small set, and it's not that great. You've got a few cool, like I really like the Piplup, I like the Wigglytuff, but outside of that, it's just a Charizard that you're chasing. The Charizard itself is one of the greatest Charizards that we've ever seen. So it's definitely like an S tier Charizard chase, but is that going to be enough to keep the set strong in like the long term, or is it going to be another one of those forgettable sets? Again, it'll be interesting.
I'm going to start with the answer of I have no effing clue, because like people think they have things figured out, but they have no effing clue. Oh, Flashfire, it's obvious that's the best set of XY, and it was for years. Charizard set, blah blah blah. This is just like Obsidian. This is just like Flashfire, but like Phantom Forces comes out of nowhere. Demand is fickle. People can change their ideas on a whim, whether it's an influencer video or whatever. Like, I have no effing clue. All I know is I set back 4 cases of every set because I don't know. These things might run higher and faster and farther than I ever realized. And in general, they have so far. But like, I think, and I've been saying this since January. So people are going to say Dan calling 47 of the last 2 crashes. Which fair, whatever. I don't care. I've been saying since it started happening that like surging is the one that kind of was available under MSRP, but I think Prismatic, I think Destined, I think Journey Together, I think Mega Evolution, Phantasmal Flames, Black and White, I think all of those sets per pack, not every SKU, I don't know which, because like Pokemon can pick and choose. I think they're gonna, and honestly at this point I just listed 7 sets that have not been widely available under MSRP. I'm gonna cave partially, and I think it's better. It's more in Pokemon's interest and ability to leave at least one of those. I think they're going to leave at least one set that never becomes available under MSRP. One exception to prove the rule. But in general, I think they're going to get packs of those all out there, plenty enough that they're available under MSRP. The amount of smart people that I've heard saying, like Greeny said he's going to double down at 200. Greeny, I'm gonna buy some at 200 for the live streams, as Ponga says. I'm always buying. I'm buying at a % of market though, not full market. Well, I do buy a little bit at full market through Ponga because that's the only way I can logistically get it to him. But that's probably what he's alluding to there. But I'm gonna buy. Right now I have 4 cases of each on the pallets. I'm not gonna buy any more till pretty damn close to MSRP. Like at MSRP, maybe at 200 I'd buy 2 more cases, and then at MSRP I'd buy like 4 or 6 more cases. If and when they get to 100, and most people say this, they don't have the bank account to back up their words. Talk is cheap, blah blah blah. Talk versus walk. A lot of people that say they're gonna double down at this, they're gonna quadruple down, they're gonna buy it all if it goes to 0. They don't have the ability to do that. They don't have the capital, the cash flow, any of that stuff. I'm actually going to, but again, talk is cheap. So like, watch my video if and when it happens. You know what I was doing in May of 2024? May of 2023. No, when did I start the pallets? May of 2024. A year and a half ago now. So you know what I was doing? Like I have a video that I can point to, and I have pallets that I can point to that prove that last time it was cheap I was buying. I'm going to do that again, like I did it last time. Most people saying they're going to do that, they were there in May of 2024, and they weren't doing it. They're just making stuff up. Oh, it's a new normal. It's a new paradigm. It's new this, new that. Like, you were there last time, some of them, and you weren't doing it. So it's like talk versus walk, cosplay, blah, 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 all the stuff I say. But yeah, I think Greeny buying Phantasmal at release, hoping that it goes up, is a horrible EV play. Could he make money? Yes. Like what percentage would I have attributed him making money? But like me, if my goal is like to make money in Pokemon over the short term, the last thing on my mind is like, let me gamble on the latest set at full market at release and just sit on it for 5 years. Like what? Why would you not put equal amount of money into 151 or Crown Zenith or Evolving Skies, or anything would be better, I think, in sealed. That is literally the last on my list. If I could buy anything at full market, the last thing would be Phantasmal. Honestly. And I would have said that in May about Destined, yes, and I would have been wrong. But like that's my take on it. I think it's insane. But it's not just Greeny. It's Anon saying that this can't go below 200. It's this, that, and the other thing. It's like people are just talking out their asses. Nobody knows what's going to happen. And the scary part is people are scared, realizing that like, oh my, Anon was wrong on that. And like Rudy said this and it didn't. Oh, that's scary. And I've talked with people that have $1 million of Pokemon that are like quoting Rudy and quoting like quoting as if things can't go down and this, that. And it's like, holy crap. We are built on a house of cards, literally. And a couple of things could start going the wrong way. Things could fall a lot and fast. Cause like, anyways, I forget. People don't like the doom and gloom. They like the thumbnails that are doom and gloom, but they're like, it only goes up, guys. Deflationary. Every day, less packs exist because more ripped. Live stream, whatnot. Fanatics Live, eBay Live, rockets. That's what people want to hear. Sorry, I got a little too dark there. Let's see.
Yeah, you need more rocket emojis in your life.
Yeah. Dan sits on the fences for the feeling between his cheeks. Wow. Oh God. Let's see. I think okay. I made it all the way to the bottom of the chat. Even a broken clock is correct twice a day. That is a correct statement. That might be me. That might be said about me, but either way, that is a correct statement. So let me make sure. I think we covered everything with Snype. I just want to make sure. Okay, we did. I see nothing more that I have pinned about Snype. So now we're gonna work through. We're gonna work through the other questions I have starred. We're gonna work through the other topics we talked about before we went live. But yeah, big shout out to Greeny. He's a little bit of a dummy getting caught in the modern goes up Kool-Aid, but he's a good consigner. And honestly, I have over 100 items probably with Greeny as we speak, between ones that just went in the mail to ones that landed in the past couple of weeks. Like I have a lot of stuff with Greeny.
Oh, he's gonna wreck you on that stuff now. Your titles and pictures are gonna be so bad.
He's gonna smudge the camera lens, and he's gonna spell Pokemon with a Y, Pokeymon, in all my upcoming listings. I love you, Greeny, but man, that was a bad play. Regardless of how it pans out, people buying Destin in May was a stupid play, but they made money, so like it was a smart play. But Ditto Faction,
it could be an out.
Dan, please do not make a video on Off Center Podcast. So big news that we wanted to bring to you guys here live. They're live tomorrow, right?
Yeah, tomorrow. Or no, they're not. It's pre-recorded. They don't do lives.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they'll do like a premiere or something. But they've already recorded it. So it'll upload tomorrow, or whatever it is.
But yeah, as of yesterday, I think Squeaks posted, Radar posted, Thrifty posted, Mason posted. There's a new podcast hitting the streets. Tomorrow, tune in. Off-Centered Podcast. I think there's like, when you search it, there's a lot of them. Search it on Instagram or whatever, you'll probably see it because like I follow it now. Nick probably follow. Like there's probably a handful of followers that you follow, so it should come up. But like there's a few of similar names on YouTube, so I couldn't find it immediately. But Java had the Instagram page recommended to him like 2 days ago, so he posted it in the paywall Discord, and I was the 3rd subscriber. I subscribed. Like there are 4 people on the Off Center Podcast. And I was the 3rd subscriber, and I'm not like I was subscribed before all 4 members of it were subscribed. So I'm nearly as OG as it gets. So I'm looking forward to that. But I will say, I was harsh to Greeny there, throwing him under the bus. I'm going to be a little bit harsh to our friends over at the Off Center Pod.
Man, you're just calling out everyone over here.
I'm all fired up. I'm getting scammed right now, Nick. I'm getting scammed by Snype, so I got to be fired up. I'm picking up Ponga in 2 hours from the airport. So I'm 3 hours. I'm fired up. It's going to be a fun weekend. Squeaks and Radar, you guys, I've been hurt before, but I am ready to be hurt again. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 79 times, I won't be fooled again. I don't know if that made any sense, but I'm gonna subscribe. I'm gonna watch every episode start to finish, and I'm gonna pray to Arceus every night that I get at least 5 years of episodes. So Nick and I, we're coming
5 years of episodes.
Where I'm going, Nick,
be realistic.
Nick and I are coming up on 5 years of episodes. One thing that I'm a little nervous about already. They're doing it weekly, right?
Yeah.
Weekly's too much. It's so easy to miss one episode if you go weekly. And once you miss one episode, it's so easy to miss a second one. One thing, though, I will poke fun at this a little bit, too. 4 is a lot for a podcast. I love them all, and I'm excited, and I'm going to watch all of them. I will watch every Off-Center pod in, like, red bar to completion. I will watch them all. But, like, 4 people is a lot, and here's the punchline. Whenever somebody inevitably stops showing up, they still have 3 people. They still have 2 people, right? So, like, Maybe it will lead to longevity because they'll start with 4, they'll whittle down to 3 6 months later, and then they'll keep it going, and then maybe a year later it's a 2-person pod. But I don't know which 2 it'll be. But I'm bullish on a 2-person pod existing 2 years after release. That's my prediction. What's the over/under number of episodes? What's the over/under number of people on the pod in 6 months?
That's what I was gonna give. It's gonna be radar dropping out first. 100.
Oh, Nick's going right for names. I mean I didn't go for names on that one at least. Oh god, that's funny.
It's gonna turn into the Squeaks, Mason, and Thrifty pod, and I'm gonna give it.
Sorry, John.
I think 6. I think 6. What would I think 6 months is a good time frame. Because what's that? 26 episodes? Yeah, I think that's good.
Well, it's 24-ish if they're, but yeah, not every week has 4. Not every month has 4 weeks. Some have 5. It'll be interesting. I'm very excited for it, but I am being very defensive. I'm being very I'm not getting too excited because I've been hurt before many times by individuals on that podcast. Through them creating a good podcast that I enjoyed and then stopping making that podcast, not through any other means. But no, I'm excited. I'm excited
too. I think it'll be a really good listen. They are putting a lot of, I won't say what, but I've heard from Thrifty. They are putting a lot of effort into it. So I'm excited to see what they actually do. It should be good.
See, that excites me, but that scares the hell out of me. A lot of effort every week in this market.
Well, it's like getting your background set up, getting lighting, getting microphones, figuring out the format. So it's stuff like they've put in a lot of work, but it's not work that they'll have to continuously do every week.
Okay. Presumably, though, like we go live and we answer chat and we just screw around for 3 hours basically every other week. Ours is pretty low effort. Yeah. I assume that there's going to be higher effort than that. And let's use this period. So go subscribe. Let me I'll find it. Off Center Podcast.
Well, we already posted it.
Oh, we did. Okay, good. I was going to say, let's get them a couple more subscribers from our massively deep subscriber pool that we have here. But on the topic of new podcasts, are there any other ones out there? There's actually been a lot of them. There's a lot of them that I've followed along for a long time, and they went from weekly to every other week, maybe to they post once every millennia at this point. Are there any regular consistent ones that you watch, or?
I do like watching. What's his face? Eli Nostalgianomics.
They're on every Monday, right?
Yeah, whatever they're.
I don't think they have a name.
They might not have a name.
I watch that one every Monday. It's just on Eli's channel, but I enjoy that one. Again,
I like that one. And then what else do I watch? That's really about it.
Do you watch Card Lounge or no with Rob and Jake?
I don't. No. I don't watch it. No. We'll leave it at that.
I'll say Alex and Eli are more in my wheelhouse as far as I like to watch people doing big business in the space, but I've watched all the Card Lounge ones. It's different. I don't enjoy it as much, but I think getting more of the normie collector perspective. Not that they're really just normie collectors. They're both pretty decent sized influencers. But I also I've been watching the midweek Machamps. Do you watch that with Oyama and Jar Chomp?
I did see one episode of that recently, and I liked that. I did actually enjoy that.
I honestly I met Jar Chomp back in I saw him in New Jersey, but I actually met him in Charlotte. I didn't realize this is obviously nothing against him. He doesn't need any help from me as far as content wise. His content's not for me. The vendor POV stuff. Same goes for Bulbasaur. But I didn't realize until shortly before Charlotte that he makes a lot of in-depth business style, long form Q&A type content. I've actually been watching a lot more Jar Chomp content lately. Again, I don't watch the POVs, but I watch like the deeper stuff, and like the midweek Machamps is it's more podcasty. They have like certain segments, they have guests on, like they're better at it than us for sure. I think within a couple of months, I think they surpassed our subscriber count. But one thing nobody can pass us on, Nick, if we never stop, no one can pass us on our tenure. We're coming up on 5 years. 5 years this March. They might pass us in episodes. So if they do it every week, they could pass us in episodes in a few years, but they can never pass us in total tenure if we never stop. So
that is very true. That is very true. So I guess I'll delay my resignation.
Yeah. There's more podcasts too than the ones that we mentioned, but it's funny. And I know, like, I see Ern in here. Ern has one with Johto Jake. I've been listening to that one. I won't be able to listen to them all just because there's too many. But one thing that I've heard multiple podcasts say that have like 5,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, they say, oh yeah, we started because like there weren't any Pokemon podcasts. And I'm like, oh man.
So many.
Well, no, the funny part is like, there's probably some that predate us. I don't know of any, but like, I'm not going to say
that. What I could think of off the top of my head would be like I don't know, when did the Shadowless podcast start? With Breaking Eight. I think they might be closer before. But yeah, no, there really wasn't one when we started.
And the amount that have like,
we might be trendsetters.
The amount that have come and gone, and then the amount that have like, again, shout out to Greeny and Oak, the Slabbed podcast. Tune into them every 17 months. Tune into, hey, I'm picking up Ponga from the airport in 2.5 hours. Tune into Ponga every 6 years on the Box Nostalgia podcast with him and Beer City.
Oh, that's dead.
Hold on. Let's shout out all our other part-time podcasters. Who else do we got? There's like 10 of them. There's got to be more.
Retro and Old Card Shop.
Cardboard Hands. Shout out to Cardboard Hands. Yeah. The once every 53. Well, it's Old Card Shop. So the once every 69 week podcast. I've got to say that for him.
But yeah, Ernie and Jake
Ernie
Smith.
And Jake just started.
Oh, they started back up?
No. Ern Collects and Johto Jake just started. But yeah, the Spicy Boys podcast, that's long gone. That one's done and over, I think. Maybe not though. But yeah, so shout out to I had that on my list to shout out to the Off Center podcast. They are coming in hot tomorrow. I am ready to be heard again. I'm excited for it though.
I can't wait. It'll be good. And speaking of Radar, I won't reveal it, but if you follow his Instagram, he might have sold me an absolute grail item that I am super excited to get in.
I don't scroll Instagram too much. He posts a lot of Dragon Ball Z, I notice. So I didn't notice.
He had one Pokemon item up the other day.
I gotta look now.
I don't know if it's still there. It was a story, not a post.
Oh, okay. His only story is the squeaks with the
yeah.
Off Center podcast coming. Give us one, Nick. Tune into the Off Center podcast. Dan subscribing to gather details for Punching Down next week. Given the star-studded crew they have, Nick, we have like 2 weeks to punch down because their third episode, if they make it to their third episode, they will outnumber us in views and subscriber count probably. So yeah, Nick, we better get all our punches down in now.
That is true. They'll pass us. They'll pass us very quickly.
Nick, this is to me, not you. About to board, babe. See you soon. Ponga's flying to me. So there's the next topic.
He's not flying to me.
Let's use this for the next topic. So New Jersey's this weekend. MetaZoo Secret Shadows release date is this weekend. I'm wearing my shirt from the MetaZoo base set release. You're not going, right? Pretty big crew going. Pretty big crew going, I think.
What?
I'm staying in an Airbnb with myself, Ponga. We're like late additions. We're gonna be staying on blow up mattresses. But Bierski, Spat, Grimer, and Brad G are all sharing an Airbnb. So that's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. This time tomorrow, I will be checking into the Airbnb with many, many Juice Forces in tow. About to have a good weekend.
There we go.
Yeah,
no, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. No, I was gonna go, but that October just killed me. We did so much the month of October. It was wild.
Sorry, I'm just catching up on comments. So ZNG clarified this was a typo later, but he said, I can't believe Nick is still on this podcast. It's truly unbelievable. That's hilarious. No one next to me on the plane. This is going to be an unreal weekend. Pong's got a whole row to himself.
That's nice.
This stream is terrible. Please go back to the way y'all streamed before. Also can't catch up on 2x with how it's being streamed. So Big G, you are stuck. I can actually see by your comment. You are stuck in portrait mode. We are simultaneously live in landscape mode. So back out, go to Pokeflipz, and go into the horizontal one if you want it horizontal. We're trying something new today. But yeah, we are simultaneously live in both formats.
Yes.
But we appreciate the feedback. Don't hold back. Nick, imagine how popular you'd be if you went with your first choice for the podcast. Yeah,
man. We'd be killing it.
Can everyone? So here's a good way to find out. We asked earlier, so Nick and I can see a unified chat where we see both comments. Can everyone that's watching horizontal see this comment on their live chat or no? Because I see it, and I see a little vertical thing next to it. I can tell that it came from mobile. This guy came from mobile too. So I don't know what I was expecting, but I'm enjoying this live. We're enjoying having you here. So, okay. So everyone can see it, looks like. If you're watching us on mobile, vertical, and you'd rather we be landscape mode, you can go Steven Kassoon. I can also see is watching on mobile right now. So this might be a thing moving forward. Pick your preferred orientation. But yeah, big shout out to Off Center Podcast going live tomorrow. Oh, I meant to put this up to round out the Snype thing, so I'm going to put it up now. But the difference between Dan and other vendors is his admittance of being disgusted by himself, but also that anyone's conviction has a price. It's why I have a 48-inch by 64-inch poster of him in my bathroom. I wanted to use that one to round out the whole Snype thing, but I missed it. I forgot to. And then Check saying, I love your humor, Seltzer Man. I am drinking some homemade lemon seltzer right now.
Wait, how do you make seltzer?
You literally, so I have corny kegs that are made for home brewing beer. Bierski, plug your ears if you're listening. Instead of home brewing beer, you literally just fill it with water. I fill it at my sink with tap water, and I plug in the CO2 to the tank. And it takes 2 or 3 days. The CO2 just dissolves into the water, and it carbonates itself over time. So I just put I just put 40 psi onto the keg of water, and then I have homemade seltzer water. You're welcome, Earth. A lot of sorry Earths going on in the hobby, but I am saving a lot of plastic bottles, self-carbonating my own water.
That's neat.
But yeah, I things go on that are not amazing, and I think it's perfectly reasonable for certain people to write off PSA entirely when they did that to Professor O'Kelly. I didn't, though. I think it's perfectly reasonable for people to self opt out of CGC forever because of the CGC authenticating the fake test print cards. But I'm not making that decision. Everyone needs to wade through all this in their own way, make their own decisions. To certain people, certain things are deal breakers, and to other people, they're not. And I think that you can find similar things. I think it's important to be able to everyone should have boundaries somewhere. I think a lot of people have no boundaries of any kind, clearly, when money is involved. but everyone should have well-defined boundaries that they don't be hypocritic about. I think there's a lot of people that are very tribal about the things they follow, and like that's nothing, when it's about their team, and when it's about the other team, they'll just piggyback on that. They'll ride it to the eventual hopeful demise of whatever they're trying to crap on. So yeah, that's just my general life thoughts on that comment.
I like it. I don't know. It's so hard because like we were talking, these companies are so big. What's it matter?
Yeah,
you're not going to change. It's the same like not to get let's not get political, but like people getting so aggravated over politics. Why?
Hold on.
You're not going to change it. Nothing's going to happen from it. Just let it go and worry about your own life.
Just in case something inflammatory is said about politics. I don't want to be in the screenshot. I was semi alluding to not an avenue worth going down, but everyone should have lines, and I think everyone should. And to say I've never been slightly hypocritical about anything, like I would be lying. There's probably things that I've I need to figure out how I'm gonna title it, how I'm gonna thumbnail it, but there's some amount of a chance that like my take will have aged poorly, that like there would be too much to risk, too little to gain. It feels like something slightly unsavory was going on there, and it's just sad. I need to go back into defensive mode and be more cynical more often, as I said, but not to rehash that whole conversation earlier. Here's a nice way to pivot out. Dan, Nick is about to hit 10 years on eBay on January 16th. Help us bully him into doing something special and posting a sales update on YouTube. Yes, do it, Nick. Big 10-year decade on eBay. How could you not? How long have you been on YouTube? Imagine if they hit at the same time.
Wait, when did I start? It was 2019. I started YouTube right before Worlds. I remember it. It was a big collection that I bought. I'm gonna say like July 2019.
Oh, so you created the channel January 15th, 2016, but that's right. You're probably talking about your first video.
Yeah. Why would I create a YouTube channel? I don't know.
Did you have a personal one that you just repurposed or something?
No, because I never knew YouTube was a thing until Pokemon. I literally did not know it existed.
Interesting. But yeah, so your 10 year, so January 16th is your 10 year for eBay. 364 days later, on January 15th, 2026. No, wait.
No, January. It should be 2016.
So it's your 10 year on both. It's literally your 10 year on both. At midnight. So like at 5 of, you need to post the YouTube video so that it's live on its anniversary, and then it's playing the majority. It's literally your 10-year anniversary on both platforms. You have to do it. It's YouTube and eBay. Come on, you have to. How could you not? Bully. Peer pressure. Come on, Nick.
Peer pressure.
Everyone give me a peer pressure in chat in all caps. Let's peer pressure them into it.
It's not going to help.
I did what I could do, Peak. I did what I could do.
I can't even be consistent about posting a stupid picture on Instagram. It's so bad.
Oh no, Ponga spoke too soon. Someone's sitting next to him now.
Aww.
Peak, it's not even about the money necessarily. It's just about like the ease. Like I can make 5 gallons at a time that lasts me a couple weeks. I don't want to have to go to the store and get like, I drink quite a bit of seltzer. Like I don't want to have to get 3 or 6 2 liters of seltzer every time I go to the store. It's more just like the logistics of carrying all that around and then recycling, and it's a lot easier. Peer pressure. I only got 1 in chat. Do it, you coward.
He commented.
Speaking of, now that I'm talking about seltzer and drinking so much extra, I need to go to the bathroom quick. I'm going to give you this question and run to the bathroom. Do you think 151 is going to drop or plateau for a long period of time, given the number of reprints even now? Crazy that it's coming out and stuff right now.
I was shocked by this. We were talking about this in the eBay streams. It was the night before the Sam's Club mini tin drop. And we were talking about what's going to happen to pack pricing with this release. And so before we heard about this release, like Dan, I was shocked that we were getting another reprint of 151. So that was shocking in the first place, that we were even getting this release. And then when the release happened the night before, we were talking about it, and my prediction was it's going to be a decently sized reprint if all the Sam's Clubs are getting it. Obviously, there's going to be a decent amount of product, but I honestly did not think pricing would go down as much as it has. I was expecting like $1, $2 decrease in pricing on packs, but the pack pricing is like plummeted. I remember I was buying packs. I bought some semi recently at like $13 a pack, $13.50. And now I'm offering 11, and I'm getting some. I know a lot of people are offering $80 per box, which is $10 per pack. So like $10-11 people are offering on packs now, buying them in bulk, obviously. So I'm blown away by how much pricing has gone down on 151. I thought for sure it was going to hold up and people were just going to scoop up all of the supply, and it really wouldn't affect pricing all that much, but it really has. And then also it seems that I was assuming it was going to be a decently sized reprint, but it seems to be a lot bigger than I had imagined. People are getting a lot of these mini tin boxes. Even like obviously you have your botters and botters who are buying them online, but then even like your everyday scalpers that you see walking around are able to they're able to get like 4 or 5 at Sam's Clubs, at least near me. So it doesn't seem like there's a hard limit on this stuff, like limit 1, limit 2, like it's been with a lot of stuff lately. So it does seem like it's a pretty sizable reprint.
Yeah, I've bought more than I should have. In hindsight, I bought more than I should have at $12-13 a pack, and I'm buying it a little over 10 a pack, and I have over 1,000 packs coming in this week at 10 and change a pack. I lowered my percentage down to 70%. I might go lower, like if I really get hammered with it in the short term, but like this is what I'm talking about when I say like I think Destined will go under MSRP, and I know 10 something is way over MSRP. Like 151 is way over MSRP. But it blows my mind that they're still printing it. It's only slightly over 2 years though. It's like 2 years and what is it? 2 years and 2 months old? Wasn't it like September of 2023? I'm gonna look up that really quickly, just so I'm not wrong there. Yeah, September 22nd, 2023. So it's only 26 months old. Like Pokemon has printed many sets for more than 26 months. I mean, Crown Zenith was coming out back in January. And that set is so in which that was 24 months. That was coming out 24 months after its release. This is only a couple months later than that. But that's why I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident that like another year plus of Destined and Surging and these sets being like assaulted in by the printers, just like coming out left and right. One other big thing that dropped this week like crazy, and I've bought a lot of them. So I bought Destined Rivals, Journey Together, Surging Sparks, and Twilight Masquerade. There was apparently some like Walmart Black Friday thing. Tons of people cooked on that like crazy. Like here's one where I bought 144 of each of those 4 packs. Here's one where I bought 390 of each of those 4-packs. Here's one where I bought 200 of each of those 4-packs. Here's one where I bought 250 of each of those 4-packs. People were cooking on all these things, whether they were bots or notification groups or whatever they are. Like, packs are going to be coming. And you know what I did? When packs were generally sub $5 a pack, and I was buying for $3 to $4 a pack for most sets, I accumulated 100,000 packs, and I closed down on deals in the past few months of 40,000 plus packs. I need to have a decent amount of packs for the live streams. Decent amount of packs are tucked away on the pallets, and I can't touch them. But generally speaking, when pack prices are higher, I'm going to sell more. I'm going to try to have a lower inventory. Generally speaking, when pack prices are lower, I'm going to try to buy more and have a bigger inventory. But like, that's not what people do. Prices go down a few bucks, and then people get all kinds of scared, and then they panic sell. It's just what people do over and over again. It's crazy, but like, it's never going to stop. So yeah, answering the actual question, I have no effing clue. I have
give a prediction.
I think it's going to be between, what's market right now? Market right now is 1483.
14.
TCG player is 1483, but like, it lags, so it's probably actually lower. I think it's going to be between 10 and 15 for the next 7 months. And then it's going to slowly. I'm just guessing. I have no effing clue. Like I said, is that a long time? Is that a short time?
That's a long time. No, I think it's going to bounce right back. I think it's going to drop down further. I can see packs going like on TCG player. I think we'll see $12, $13. But I think by, I'm going to say beginning of next year, maybe like late January, I think it'll be back up to 15. I think it's going to be a very quick short-term dip. With the amount of people that are hyping 151 and investing in 151, I think this is just going to get all bought up super, super quickly.
So that's what you think, which I nothing against you, Nick. I care zero about that. I could not care any less about what anyone thinks will happen, because nobody knows. What are you doing, Nick? What are you doing, Sir Nicholas?
Oh, I'm
with this new information.
I think
that's what I care about.
I thought when the booster bundle reprint happened when was that? A couple months ago, over the summer? Whenever that happened and all the booster bundles were hitting the market, I thought that was the last time I was going to be able to buy 151. So I bought a bunch of booster bundles. And then now I'm buying a bunch of loose packs with the mini tins. And the packs that I'm buying now, the majority of them will be for inventory for the streams. But then I do want to set back more 151. So I do think, who knows, but I do think now is the last time you'll be able to get 151. I would not be surprised.
I similarly thought similar last time around, and like, I bought a few thousand packs. Like, so again, talk versus walk. It's like, I gave you my prediction. I hold no weight to it. Like, nobody should either, but people do for some reason. What am I actually doing? So far this week, I've probably bought 2,000 packs of 151 at the new lower prices. I want to get a couple thousand more packs. I want to get a couple thousand more packs. In total, between everybody and what I have here, I probably have 6,000 packs. Not like a crazy amount relative to like how many we sell. I want to get closer to 10,000 packs. So maybe I want to buy like 4,000 more packs. I do want to get a decent bit more. If I can get them at an average price of around 10, I would be happy. And then if and when I put 40 grand to it at $10 a pack, if and when it goes to 8 or 6, I'm going to be ready with more money to put a lot more into it. Oh, Dan, it could never do that. It absolutely could. I have no clue. They could have printed 2 billion more cards of 151. Do I think they will? No, but I didn't think they were going to print this either. I thought this would have all been prismatic. I thought this all would have been destined. I thought, like, that just goes to show you, like, nobody knows at all. Yeah. Bitcoin's down 25%. If Bitcoin continues to lose 70%, 80%, And some people know it. Like, if it loses 70 to 80%, there will be people that say, I knew it was going to do that. Where are you today, like, predicting that's going to happen? But, like, if Bitcoin goes down 70% total from its highs, if the stock market goes down 40%, 151 could be $8 a pack in 2 years from now. It could be $7 a pack. Destin Rivals could be a $140 booster box. Nobody knows. People feign all this, like, expertise and experience and thinking they know all these things, and nobody knows. 151 is $10 plus pack for the rest of the time. It definitely could be, but it might not be either. Like, what are you doing though? I'm buying. Like, I agree enough that I'm a net buyer by far. Not that it's crashing. It could crash.
You know what's not crashing though? Silver. Woo!
Yeah, I do see it's at all-time highs. Math Q&A scenario for Dan. Celebi alt art, for example, is dropped 40%. I'm long cardboard, short plastic. When does the equation of acquisition cost, pull rate, grading cost, etc. win you over? I don't really buy singles. So never. Almost never. If at times I strategically buy, I like buying deep quantities of promos occasionally. So I might buy 400 of a given promo. I might buy 1,000 of a given promo. But, like, I really don't do it with set cards. I don't like set cards. I know listening to the Card Lounge podcast earlier this week, Jar Chomp was actually on, and he quoted my long cardboard, short plastic quote. But he kind of misquoted it a little bit. He said it with respect to single cards. I'm actually that. I'm short plastic, long cardboard with respect to sealed product primarily. I like sealed product because I can buy it right. I can sell it right, and I don't really like singles and slabs that much.
I always thought that was involving grading. Long cardboard, short plastic.
Short plastic, long cardboard is short on plastic. Short on, like,
I thought that was like
short on, like, slabs. It is slabs. So I don't know if he misunderstood plastic as, like, I don't know if he, well, cardboard is like cardboard, sealed cardboard primarily, but I don't know if he thought that when I said plastic, if he thought I meant like booster wrapping or whatever, like people overvaluing the seal on like a booster box. But what I actually mean by short plastic, long cardboard is I think we're in a grading bubble. I think people way overvalue the opinions of experts that aren't very expert at what they do, and but I'm bullish on the hobby. I'm bullish on us enjoying cardboard. So, like, cardboard is in general for the hobby as a whole, Pokemon cards as a whole, and it's also with more respect to, like, sealed product too. Disproportionately, most of my Pokemon net worth is in sealed product because that's what I believe in most.
I always thought it was singles versus graded cards. Now I've been thinking this wrong this whole time.
That's what Jar Jar
they're still sitting there. They're still sitting there.
he thought I was talking about. He thought I was talking about single cards. So, like, see, this is telling me I need to be, one, from earlier in the stream, I need to be more cynical, and two, yes, I need to be more disclaimer. I need to give more disclaimers on, like, I need to elaborate further. I can't just be TikTok soundbite, short plastic, long cardboard. I need to say, for the Jar Chomps, for the old school Pokemons that understand me incorrectly, I need to really lengthy rant about what I mean when I say short plastic, long cardboard. So I'm learning things today.
It's been I think it's been when did I forget when I started. I think we're going on 2 years now where I've been setting back singles. So I semi recently started doing that, kind of taking the like Charlie approach. Whenever you get a collection in or whenever you buy something, set a portion of that back. But it's more so to have long-term inventory for streaming. I don't know if I would do it like as a investor type person, just investing in singles. But if for streaming, I think it'll pay off really well down the line. Just like popular singles that do well in streams, cards I like, and been able to actually build like a decent inventory of singles that'll eventually see the streams. I have no idea when, but at some point we'll start busting those out, and it'll be nice because I won't have to I'm into them for a lot less than what they're worth now, and it'll be like a semi-consistent flow of inventory. So hopefully at one point it won't be just constant needing singles and graded cards and all that stuff.
J1004 says, I also thought singles overgraded. The main thing of short plastic long cardboard is like emphasis on the short plastic. Cardboard is literally like everything else. It is the underlying card, the underlying single, the sealed product. Cardboard is like the rest of the hobby. I am bullish long-term on the hobby in general, but I think we're a little bit overvaluing the opinions of others with grading. But yeah. Covered that one. Do we think the new Dream set will be better than Flames and Mega Evo? I have no idea.
Because they did my boy Dragonite wrong. They butchered my boy Dragonite.
He'll have good cards.
The leaks that we've seen look so good. The Mega Gengar looks incredible. The Dragonite, I still don't like that one. But then the Psyduck that we saw yesterday looks so good. I'm really excited for that set. And I'm also a little nervous too, because it's gonna be worse than I had such a hard time getting black and white packs at the beginning when black and white first came out, because it'll be a specialty set. So we're gonna get ETBs. We're gonna have I think I got through distro, I think it was like 1,000 packs. Whereas with Mega or with Phantasmal, I had 3,000 and something packs. So it's a substantial amount less. So it's just going to be a nightmare trying to get packs for release, which I hate that. But
I'm right there with you.
I think so Phantasmal Flames, me personally, like we were talking about earlier, it's the Charizard that's in that set. Everything else is good, but it's kind of eh. Whereas Mega Evolution, I love that set. I think that is a fantastic set. So will this set be better than Mega Evolution? I think we'll just gotta wait and see. It's looking really good. Having a Gengar and Dragonite, it could definitely be better. But I'm just gonna wait and see. I do think for sure it'll be better than Phantasmal Flames.
I'm not a big spoiler guy. I saw the Gengar for sure, but like I don't dig too deeply into them. Nick answered it better than I could.
I don't like being a spoiler guy, but I feel like I need to be with the eBay lives
being on
now.
The streams.
Because everyone, when you get them, everyone talks about them that night, and I'm always, I didn't see that. So now I've actually started to look on like PokeBeach and actually see these leaks. So I have someone not just sitting there in silence.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about the way distant future of Pokemon cards with bringing kids into the hobby, when their attention nowadays having so many options compared to when we were young? Very anecdotal, but like my wife is a teacher. Every year, like she has a healthy amount of kids into Pokemon. I always bring a bunch of like the empty tins and the pencils and the pads of paper, and I send booster packs as like prizing for the kids, and they seem pretty popular. So there are a lot more options out there, I think. Nick, your video's going in and out for me.
Oh, whoops! I'm trying to type, but
I didn't know if you thought you were with your camera off. I'm like, oh no, what are we gonna see if he thinks his camera's off?
No, Josh is getting to the part. He's 53 minutes behind, so he's getting to the part where you're talking about him being an idiot.
Sorry, Josh, I love you, but we're all a little dumb. We're all a little dumb. It's good for business that we're all a little dumb, to be honest. But I feel that Pokemon does it better than anyone else. I feel that Pokemon wins this hands down. Nothing ever like back then we had, what did we have? Yu-Gi-Oh! We had Digimon, we had whatever else. Nothing ever, like I never really strayed. I got out of Pokemon in like 2003, and I just got out for general like sports and whatever other stuff was going on. But yeah, these days, Roblox and Fortnite and just the ubiquity of social media and kids just playing on tablets and phones. And I don't know. I'm again, short plastic, long cardboard, long Pokemon just in general. I'm very bullish on Pokemon.
Yeah, I would almost argue that kids nowadays will get into have more of a reason to get into Pokemon because it's multi-generational. Whereas like us back in the day, we didn't have any reason to get into Pokemon aside from liking it. Whereas kids nowadays, they'll get into it not only because they themselves like it, but also because their parents like it. For me with coin collecting, I would have never got into that without my dad doing it. But I got into it because he did it, and I thought it was cool because of him. So I think kids nowadays will see that their dad, their mom, their parents, whatever, are collecting, and they'll get into it, and then they'll have fun with it and expand upon that.
UAB says they have more of a reason because they're fed gambling from birth. The foundation of the hobby, the core product, is a randomized booster pack, and randomization is so much more ubiquitous in the toy aisle than it used to be. And gambling is really like, it's said by a gambler, it is a little bit scary how ubiquitous gambling is getting. You can bet on everything and anything all the time. I didn't allow myself to put money back in because I did lose everything I had in DraftKings. I am on net. I made money on sports betting apps because I took advantage of the promos and I hit big on a couple and I withdrew it. But like I had a $700 or $800 DraftKings balance that took me 2 seasons to lose. But it's like if I was gonna put more money in, I was just gonna watch it go away to nothing. So I avoided that. But yeah, that's there's a lot of it out there. And Robinhood now has futures markets, predictions, whatever, getting around like the whole sports betting loophole. They're just calling it futures markets, predictions markets, which there is logical reasoning as to why they can do that. But yeah, it's just crazy. Crazy.
Speaking of completely off topic, did you hear they stopped minting pennies?
Yeah.
And the last 5 pennies have that special mark on them that they're going to auction off.
I didn't see that. I figured they'd be doing something. The U.S. Mint has a good way at milking consumers of all different kinds of variants and special things. And like I figured they were going to do something, but I hadn't heard about it.
Yeah, there's the last 5 pennies that were produced have like a special mark on them, and they're gonna be auctioned off. So that'll be interesting to see what those end up going for. I think they're gonna go for absurd amounts of money.
$2 to $5 million valuation for the last 5 is what Check says.
Mm-hmm.
When auction platforms like put an estimate on those, I always think that's really weird. I don't like it because like, and I feel like I talked about this before, that whole that Yu-Gi-Oh! 1-of-1 card, when people were like confidently saying, oh, it's going to go for at least this, like people have no clue. Like unless you hear from 2 or 3 or 5 of the biggest coin collectors in the world saying what they're going to bid on it, like people just have no clue. Oh, Peak, you don't know. Peak, you don't know the U.S. Mint. They literally have that every year on everything. A million of them. They have they have so many different variants. So many they put special labels on the first day of release. PCGS, NGC graded. They grade bullion. No, this is very in line with. I knew something was coming. I didn't know what, but I knew something was coming. Oh, he's still going. Hovers over unsub button. When you unsub, does it cancel membership? Asking for a friend. That's hilarious. Oh no! Oh no! The Mint will defensively bid them for $2.5 million.
The Mint's gonna be the next Probstein.
That's the only way. Maybe they're consigning them on Snype. Oh god! Only non-moderator with a membership, and I get roasted. Oh, that's hilarious. I think GameStop Power Pack content is going to explode in 2026, just like all the gambling Twitch streams. Yeah, have you watched any of those? Like the Paper Tiger trading? There's a handful of them now. He gets almost 1,000 viewers live because GameStop Power Packs are in beta. So like only certain people can open them. He's being smart about it. He is selling an entry into buying power packs through him. He's middlemaning GameStop power packs. And he created like a bracket and he did like a tournament where I don't know if it was winner take all or what it was, but like a lot of gamblers out there said by like I am a gambler, but I'm not a problem gambler. I know limits. I go in with budgets, blah blah blah, and everyone should. But like we've been selling on Fanatics. We've been selling a lot of instant rips lately. That is a gambling product, but honestly, like it's open, honest, transparent. You can see like what cards are there. And we were just talking about this earlier in office hours. I like the product in that it's transparent, and I like the EV relative to like the average EV of opening booster packs, which we sell tons of booster packs. It's like 40% or something crazy low. Every $1,000 you spend, on average, you get 400 back in singles. With instant rips, with power packs, you're getting back like 90 to 100%. It's still gambling though. It's still negative EV overall on average. But yeah, so is the core product. So is the booster pack. But people rip like mad, and I am people. I bought into a base set first box break and flew across the country to go open it on stage with Nick.
That was fun. That was fun. That's definitely a core Pokemon memory.
Yeah, I will never forget opening that Shadowless Charizard after the Dogecoin millionaire almost opened it for me. Oh, Dan, when you're going all in on Pokecoins, I have a lot of them, but never going all in. When prices are down, I always accept. I just have to buy more to meet profits, revenue goals. I feel crazy for not fearing any of these dips. Are we in a dip? Are prices down? Like when people say 2022,
yes, prices are dipping down. We're not in a crash, but we're not booming anymore.
Well, a lot of people are saying we're in a crash, which is scary because like they don't know what a crash could be. A lot of people, it's scary how irrational a lot of people are and how scared they get by little things like this. Because like when I hear people refer to 2022, 2023 as like down markets, that is so scary. Because like I was those were my first 2 years full time, and I made record revenue in that. Like I made more than I made in the boom. I made, which partly because I was full time, not part time. But like, man, if 2022 and 2023 are like a down market, man, just give me that forever. Because yeah, those were awesome years. So we covered that. We only have one question left. We're probably going to go till 4 today. I do have to get Ponga from the airport. I am going to New Jersey Collecticon this weekend. So if you're going, let me know. Come say hi. I'm only going to be there Saturday. I'm not vending, but I have a big pack deal that I'm taking care of on Friday. And then I'm going to be there all day Saturday, all night Saturday. But I'm driving out at like 8 a.m. or something Sunday, which is going to kind of suck. But yeah, we're going to try to wrap by 4 so I can go get Ponga and not have him wait at the airport too long. We have one question left. I'm going to take that. Ask questions in chat. We're going to end by 4 at the latest, but we might end a little bit earlier if there's no questions. So Ditto Faction wants to know, what do you think the TCG Player Black Friday sale will do to the cooldown we've been experiencing? You want to go, Nick?
I don't know, it's so frustrating. I
TCG
can't
Player.
stand the fact that you can't have a tax exemption certificate on TCG Player. So yes, you get the 13% off with your membership, but then you pay. I think is it crazy to say the Chicago sales tax is 10%? I think I paid. It's like 9.25%.
My county is like 9.75, I think, or 8.75. It's high.
That's wild. It used to be 6% in Mass. So yeah, you get the 13% off with the Black Friday sale, but then I'm paying 10% tax on that. So it's basically I'm paying I'm getting 3% off. Woo. So yeah, I don't think I'll buy it. Maybe I don't think I'll buy anything. Maybe go on and buy some more singles to set back, but it won't be anything crazy. I used to. I think there was a year or 2 years where I'd go on and buy a ton of stuff when I could do the tax exemption. And it was awesome, but now it just doesn't. You could make it be the same, because obviously you can, like, when you go do your taxes, you can write it off. So it's the same, but it doesn't feel the same.
No, writing it off is not the same. So if you buy $1,000 item and pay sales tax on it, for me, say it's $90, 9%.
Mm-hmm.
Writing off $1,090 is not the same as paying $1,000. So you're getting some benefit writing off that $90 sales tax you paid, but you're not getting 100% benefit. A write-off is a benefit to the extent of your marginal tax rate. So say on average you pay 50% sales tax. Say you're making several $100,000 a year. Say you're at a high tax bracket, state and federal. You're getting 50% of that money back, but you're not getting 100% of that money back. So it's very different.
Yeah.
But one thing you can do, and I talked with my accountant about this. I talked with TCG Player about this a little bit. You can New York has a means by where if you pay sales tax on an item not intended for resale, you can actually go pay the $90 and get the $90 back from the Department of Sales Tax. But like, it's a lot of hoops to jump through. It's like, it's more than I would want to do, and it feels like it makes you like. I have not bought on TCG Player in like 6 months or more. I don't think I'm ever gonna buy on TCG Player again. It is a terrible website, not quite as bad as Snype, but it is not good. They're actually a joke. It's actually a joke. What they used to do was a joke, crediting you back sales tax. What they do now, not even exempting you for it, not crediting you, like, it is insane. It's actually insane. I just literally don't buy from TCG Player anymore. Oh God, I see the live chat. But yeah, what do I think it will do to the cooldown? I don't know. I think people mark their prices up by 10%, and then people buy at 10% discount to pay what the price is anyways. I think people fool themselves into thinking they're getting a deal on that. That's my overall take. And I hate TCG Player. Terrible company, terrible website. I hate how much of our hobby is based off of it, because it's abysmal. And that said, my pack buy list is based entirely off TCG Player pricing, because like that's just that's what it is. I hate it, but like it's a market again. And well, yeah, TCG Player did have some things going on in the news about anti-union type practices, blah blah blah, like which I guess is semi-political.
Yeah, you never heard anything about. That's another thing you never heard about. That was like you heard it for like 2 days. I completely forgot about that.
I have no idea what happened with that. I didn't remember it until I started rambling, and then it came to me mid-ramble. But I not for that reason. I don't know much about what that was. But I hate TCG Player, because like it's such a terrible website. It's so frustrating to try to use. I literally can't use it anymore. Anytime I tried to buy something above $1,000, they'd cancel it and give me my money back. It's like, I don't want my money. I want the products. Like, let me take my money. They literally wouldn't shut up and take my money. and now they won't exempt me on sales tax on orders below 1,000. So I ceased all business with TCG Player because they're but apparently like it's not shady dealings, it's just them being incompetent. I wish they were just a little bit shady and competent.
You're just mad they featured Mason before you. Just admit it.
I actually get it's annoying too. eBay, I opt for a once weekly payout from eBay, which is nice and it's clean, and TCG Player pays me like twice a week or whatever. I got like $7 yesterday. TCG Player, I don't want the $7. Save it up till it's like $50 at least. What are we doing? I don't have much listed on TCG Player anymore, and Sky manages it, but like there's not many like the one redeeming thing is that I can use their data to build my buy list. But no, I am not a fan of TCG Player at all.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're not going to get a TCG Player sponsor anytime soon. Brad says, "Don't forget the milk." Another milk fan. I told him I'm going to pick up some groceries. So let me know what kind of milk. He is a skim milk drinker though. I mean, I drink 1%.
Just picking up a case of water.
1% is a ways from skim. He's drinking skim. I'm a 1% guy. But when I go to CollectiCon, I don't drink any milk all weekend. This man, I saw him at the Airbnb in Chicago, just like downing a gallon of milk. So Friday before I go to the Airbnb, me and Ponga, after we drop off the packs, we're gonna stop and we're gonna do some grocery shopping. We're gonna get some snacks. We're gonna get some beer. We're gonna get some water, soda, Powerade, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, Brad, let me know. I knew he's a milk guy, so I gotta hook him up with the milk. I won't forget, Brad.
I'll miss seeing Not to Teen Brad.
A skim milk drinker and a seltzer home brewer in a room together. Jesus. Oh, that's funny. Thoughts on Superman #1? Is that
I have 0. That's the one that's up for auction. It's like
big
a
comic up for auction.
Yeah, I have no thoughts.
I didn't even see.
It's Jeremy has been posting a bunch about it.
Oh,
he thinks it's going to be. He thinks it's over going to be. He thinks it's going to sell for over 12 million.
See, when people throw those numbers, it's like he at least has. He probably has that amount of money, so like his opinion matters more. But like when people who, it's weird. Like I'm not going to throw in my 2 cents on what I think that's going to go for, because like I don't know comics. I don't have $12 million. I did not even know it was going up for sale. So. Yeah. Will 2K stimmy checks reboom us for the 30th next year?
Hold on 1 second. You can keep going.
I don't know. I don't know if those are happening. Are they happening? I did see some things about a tariff stimulus check. I saw 2,000. I saw 5,000. I haven't followed it closely, but like I've seen a couple different numbers. I have no idea. I will say though, if and when there's a lot of people in this space that if and when they get $2,000 handed to them, they will spend it on cardboard. So like, it's not going to be bearish for the hobby. I don't think. 2 ways: inflation and then just direct dollars. If $2,000 gets printed for everybody in the country, it's gonna inflate the pool of money a little bit, right? So just inherently by inflation, and then also directly by a lot of people putting their stimmy checks into cardboard. Fat Belly's ready for the money. Dan, I'm curious, what are you currently doing with your Probstein consigned items? Have you asked them for the items back, and how does that go? I'm going to wait and see. I think a lot of people have very like emotional, instantaneous reactions, and they just make emotional decisions. I'm not excited about what's going on. I don't like it. I have $30,000 to $50,000 worth of items tied up there. I'm absolutely not sending any new ones there, but I'm also like I'm not going to drop everything. I'm not going to skip New Jersey Collecticon. I actually should see how far he is from where I'm going to be in New Jersey. Maybe I'll swing by.
Oh God, I would not recommend.
but like a lot of people get like so, and I understand it. Like if cash flow is tighter than it should be or whatever, and I'm in a good spot where like the cash flow isn't going to harm me at all. But I'm going to wait. It's literally been 3 days. A lot of people feel like
3 days.
Yeah, a lot of people get so quickly. They get like, oh my God, I sent 17 emails and Rick hasn't personally responded. Like, you're one of 1,000 people that sent 17. Like, I'm gonna wait and see. There's some percent chance. I'm already mentally accounting for some percent chance that the stuff's just like gone forever. Hopefully that's not the case. I don't think that will be the case, but I'm already mentally preparing a little bit for like I'm slightly stuck. Like some percent chance that stuff is just gone. So some percent chance he's on a plane somewhere out of what do they call it? Out of the jurisdiction for like when they bring people back for crimes and stuff. I don't think that's the case, but like I mean there's some chance it's all gone, right? But no, I think emotional decisions made on like the moment something goes wrong or something changes, something unexpected. Those are some of the worst decisions you'll make in your life. Emotional heat of the moment decisions. So I don't make them.
Mm-hmm.
Extradition, yes, non-extraditing countries. Hopefully that is not in anyone at Probstein's recent search terms. Non-extradition countries. Let's see. Bitcoin is tanking. Is Pokemon to follow? Maybe. Whatever became of the dunking program? I took off for 6 to 7 months earlier this year and never heard. Nothing happened in the 6 to 7 months.
Literally nothing.
I tried dunking at Rusty's. I could not dunk. I did 2 dunk programs over a year and a half, 2 years. I lost 25 pounds and I gained no vertical whatsoever. I lost fat. I gained some muscle mass in my legs. I gained 1/4 of an inch of vertical leap. I just cannot jump. So yeah, I've drifted back up into the mid 230s from the mid 220s. So I need to get back on. I need to get back on the wagon or whatever the right euphemism is there. But yeah, I've been bad. I've been really bad. I need to get back on it. So we're fully caught up in chat. Will the S&P hit 12K in 20 years? I don't even know what the S&P is today. 6,500. It should double every 10 years. I think it'll hit 24K in 20 years.
Ooh.
I hope it's not as low. I hope it doesn't only hit I hope it only doesn't double in the next 20 years. But I'm prepared for it to only double in the next 20 years too. I would be fine. But I would not be happy. Oh, the S&P is down 3% in the past month. When your stuff goes down, don't sell. It's pretty easy if you don't over leverage. A lot of people leverage a decent bit though.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're fully caught up. Oh, any of you going to Collectopia in February? Is that?
I've never even heard of that.
Oh yeah, another podcast that I forgot to mention. Jesse Peng and the Poke S&P. They're very irregular. They don't make them very frequently. So like I think they made their first one in the past 6 months, like yesterday or 2 days ago. I did listen to that one. I think it's something that he's doing. I think he's doing a big collector's event somewhere up in Canada. Given that it's in Canada, I don't know if I'll go. Is he near Toronto? If he's East Coast, like it might not be that far for me. I'm only like 3 or 4 hours from Toronto, a drive. So like maybe, but like I think it's also Super Bowl.
You're gonna go to Canada in February?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I would have to drive 4 hours in February. It's Super Bowl weekend, which I usually have a get together at my house for the Super Bowl. So like probably not. Just doesn't jive with the personal calendar well. the tag podcast. Pokesun and J-Peng. I enjoy it at times, but it's been very intermittent the past year or two. Yeah, I think we're fully caught up in chat. Anything you want to pump, Nick? We know we're staying tuned. We're liking, subscribing. We're going over to the Old School Pokemon YouTube because on January 15th, 2026, January 15th, 2026, Nick is going to have a YouTube video to celebrate 10 years on YouTube and eBay. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you click the Old School. Do I still have your YouTube linked in the description? That's actually hilarious if I do.
You better still have it. You'd have to purposefully get rid of it.
I do. Wait, the links are messed up. they're not even links. Not even to my channel. It's a / Old School Pokemon, but like it's not even a clickable link.
No wonder why
that's actually hilarious.
Affiliate link money.
Oh, that's actually hilarious. Celebrating 10 years on YouTube and 10 years on eBay. He's been a decade strong on both platforms, consecutive days. That's crazy.
I wonder why I did. It must have been all when because I know I got rid of eBay and I made the new one. I must have just made everything that same week.
You knew the empire you were about to build.
Yes, that's what it is. No, I don't have anything. No, we're taking tonight off. Going out with Vandy, so that'll be fun. No stream tonight. Thrifty abandoned the stream. I'll hopefully be back on Friday. Well, I'll definitely be back on Friday. eBay's been it's so frustrating. eBay's been glitching out, so like the stream will freeze for a couple seconds or 30 seconds. So hopefully they fix that by the next time I'm live. Let's keep our fingers crossed for that.
eBay Live still in beta, kind of like Snype is in beta. So Snype is 3 days old and eBay Live is 3 years old. Nick's going to be celebrating his 10 years on eBay Live, and it's still going to say beta next to eBay Live.
I would not be surprised at this point.
Hopefully not, but yeah, eBay
Does
Live.
That mean you don't have a or did PK and Ponga switch days, or are you off today from Fanatics? Because Thursday is Ponga's night, isn't it?
PK is going to do an instant rip tonight, though. So
okay.
That's what I was going to bring up too. Between eBay and Fanatics, we're trying this weekend. Actually, everyone except PK. PK will be holding down the fort on Fanatics, but I don't think I'll have any eBay live streams on my account this weekend because we'll all be in New Jersey, and over some juice forces, we'll be doing some business. We'll be planning things out, planning our takeover of the eBay Live platform. And Nick, I think you've already seen a little bit. You've seen some spat streams. You've seen some. One Grimer stream or two Grimer streams maybe, but
I was in for his first one. I will say though, I can't give Spat any more compliments because I complimented him that one time, and then you kind of fell off a cliff, Spat. So I'm not going to be giving Grimer any compliments.
I mean, I've been watching the YouTube or the eBay Live viewership count, and I mean, Spat's been up there. Spat's been pumping some sudden deaths through, and you better watch out.
I wonder where he got that idea from.
Any one of the hundreds of people who do them. I mean, come on. KetchumAllCollectibles is coming for that eBay Live crown. Old School Pokemon Enterprises better watch out. We're coming in hot.
I'm not worried.
There's not too many buyers to go around, so hopefully both eBay and Fanatics can pump up the viewership a little bit. Whatnot is definitely winning on that front. Very, very big.
Yeah.
Here we go. I learned so much from the OG Old School Pokemon channel. A bunch of how to sell on TCG Player videos. Cinema.
Hey, I love it.
We all miss them dearly. But yeah, with that is going to be it. Appreciate everyone hanging out. It was a fun chat. Lots of things going on in the hobby. We will be following up in 2 weeks, maybe with some updates on what is going on with Snype. I think you heard it here first. I don't think it was on YouTube anywhere else, but potentially Probstein crawling back to eBay with his tail between his legs. We will see. But yeah, with that, hope everyone has a great weekend. We will catch you all later.
Bye.